I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully is disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans. Poor little bro, man. And I'm gonna tell him why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. The other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset. Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maze Madman. I'm here with my brothers,
the Maniac,
and of course,
Kinetic.
Let's get to it, gentlemen. I feel like it's been a while since we've been together, man. It's been a good minute here.
Yep.
Anyway, we got a dope show lined up for everyone tonight. We're gonna kick it off, of course, with Michigan Bowl Week, the Reliaquest Bowl, a rematch of last year's Rose Bowl with Alabama sans Nick Saban. This time, Kalen DeBoer and those guys in Tampa this year instead of Pasadena. Of course, it's a little bit of a down year for Michigan, 7-5, coming off a 15-0 national championship season a year ago. We all know how we feel about that. But how you guys feeling, man?
I'm great, man. I feel excellent. I know it feels like we've been out for like a month, man, but it hasn't even been that long. But we here, man. Definitely a dope show. I'm feeling great, man. You know, tomorrow, man, last day of the year already, man. The way time flies, man. It's just crazy, man. But I can't complain. Kinetic.
No doubt.
Yeah, man, same. I mean, I'm just enjoying the holidays, enjoying the first 12-team playoff, all the stuff that surrounds it, and trying my best to keep up with what's going on down there in Tampa. But I'm just enjoying it, man.
He's Kinetic. Kinetic is feeling real good, man, because his Vikings are cooking, so he's feeling good about that.
Hey, that ended up being a good game. It looked like the Vikings was gonna run away with that thing, but they still held on. Shout out to the Vikings for that. Jackson Johnson will be joining us here shortly. He is of Voice of College Football Alabama. He will be joining us along with friend of the show, Nick Saban Jr. You all remember Nick Saban Jr. He will be joining us as well to talk about the Reliaquest Bowl and Alabama. It's, postseason now. This has become a tradition in the postseason. Michigan playing Alabama back-to-back years in the postseason, man. But before we do that, we got to acknowledge the chat. Shout out to my guy, DK. Troy is in here. Dallas fan. We'll be bringing him up a little later because we're breaking down the CFP too. He'll be up. My guy Mike Layton. Cam is in here. Shout out Marmar. Can't forget Marmar. Burks is here.
Hey, can we get Burks a broom for the sweep that the Vikings pulled on the Packers this season?
Hey,
no
leave
doubt.
my man Burks alone. That's my guy. The Don.
G. Shout out Big G. He's in here too. Without any further ado, though, let's get right to it. Number one, we're going to welcome up Nick Saban Jr., ladies and gentlemen. Golf claps all around. Nick Saban Jr. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How about y'all, man?
Doing excellent.
Doing good, man.
And it doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen, because Voice of College Football's own Jackson Johnson. Golf claps all around. For all the people. We need like some crowd noise. I'm going to get some crowd noise.
Jackson, how's everybody doing tonight?
Good, man. Feeling
Thanks
real
for
good.
having me on. I appreciate it.
No
appreciate
doubt.
you coming on, man.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, without any further ado, by the way, I didn't get to switch to Jackson. We got to do it right. Welcome, Jackson, of Voice of College Football. There we go. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. Alabama, Michigan, Part 2. This time in the Reliaquest Bowl. Let's start with you, Jackson. This is your first time on the show. Tell me what's different about Alabama this year from last year, and what you like, what you don't like so far this season.
Well, I don't like the fact that we haven't utilized our ground game enough. If we had done what we have done against Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, we'd have been more than okay against Oklahoma and Vandy. If we had a great game like we did against Georgia, treated every game like it was Georgia, where we had like 177 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, we'd have been good to go. South Carolina was putting a stop to us in the ground game. See, the key to beating Alabama is not only making sure that you put a stop to the ground game, but throw that little shuffle pass. And if you're worried about the quarterback game of Michigan, I can tell you right now, you may not beat us with the long ball, but you can outsmart us with the shuffle pass. Case in point, Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt and Oklahoma on Saturday Night Football on ABC.
No doubt. Same question to you, Nick. What's new? What do you like? What don't you like?
First of all, I got to click the like button to what he just said. I'm one of them guys that we do what we're supposed to do. We wouldn't even be playing we'll be in the playoffs, but I'm not the Alabama fan that's going to sit here and complain about let's come out here and prove a point against Michigan and show the world while we in college. I'm like, we're neither one of us are the same team from last year, so this is not nothing to beat the chest on. So what I didn't like this year was our team was so quarterback based. If the quarterback does good, we win. If we don't do good, if the quarterback don't do good, we don't win. And I want to see us get back to the old Alabama where you got the athletes around us and not have a mediocre quarterback, but it's not so dependent on quarterback play calling and adjustments at times seemed like it was lack of at times. Sometimes on the defensive side, the linebacker aggressiveness at times like seemed like it wasn't there, like against Vanderbilt. Our linebackers got blowed up a lot. So I just want to see toughness coming in this game, but basically play calling. I want to see if Jalen Milroe going to play the whole game, whatever. I just want to see better. I want to see him improve going on to get ready to go to the next level. But ground game was lack of. I really want to see us, the new duo we got, Richard Young and Jalen Miller. I want to see us activate the run game again more like we used to. But what I didn't like was lack of run game and lack of quarterback play and coaching adjustments at times.
Absolutely. Really fast, everybody, make sure you hit the like button, share this with your friends on social media and Abound. And if you haven't already, subscribe.
Yes.
Same question to you guys, Maniac, Kinetic. What's different about Michigan this year? What do you like? What don't you like?
Go ahead, Kinetic. I'll let you get on the dance floor first.
No, I mean, okay. First of all, I think it's a really cool, just kind of storyline or idea. The fact that we started the first day of the year with a bowl game and ended the year with the bowl game with the same team. That's kind of cool. I don't know if that's ever been done before, but I think that's pretty cool. But that's kind of where the similarities end. It it was already said that neither team is the same team that they were last year. The Reliaquest Bowl is not the Rose Bowl. It's two completely different games. It seems like from what I've seen that there's a little bit of this idea with some of the Alabama players. I don't know if it extends to the fans or but the players and the coaches, that there's this idea that this is somehow going to be a revenge game. I don't understand that. It's a different game. It's a different team. I don't see where that comes from. When you're not in a playoff bowl game, you kind of just go and enjoy it. It's almost like a glorified spring practice or a spring game, like a joint practice that you see in the NFL sometimes between two teams. I mean, enjoy it. I don't take it too serious. I don't think a lot of but I feel like some of the players and coaches are taking it too serious.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, before I go ahead with my take regarding my Michigan team, I want to tell you Alabama fans this, man. Listen, Yeah, it's okay. The last 15 years, y'all been the greatest college football dynasty ever. So I get it. I get it. You still want to win. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be wanting to win, but listen, man, it took us what 27 years to see. I saw the Natty in '97, and then last year. So it's a lot of years. You guys seen a lot of winning, right? But anyway, as far as this season goes, as Michigan, it was a bad season, man. I'm sorry. 7-5 is what wasn't should have not been 7-5, 9-3 at worst, man. This team should have been. I think that, but it comes with a lot of growing pains. I mean, we're still not in that position where we seen, like Bama and Ohio State, where you guys could lose 10 key players and just replenish that with another 10 elite players. Michigan, obviously, we not there. And then with the transfer portal as well, man, you got guys leaving left and right. So it's really hard to keep a core of your staff nowadays, when it comes to the portal. But, regardless, Jackson, you said it, behind before we went live, Sharon Moore, beat Michigan State his first season, Ohio State, Minnesota. And that's great momentum building moving forward, right? I mean, quarterback has been our biggest issue. Anybody that saw Michigan, everyone laughed at us. They said we had a Navy pass game, which I can't even be mad at them for saying things like that. But, regardless, tomorrow's game is two blue bloods of college football. Again, the winner is it's like good, but it's still Michigan, Alabama, man. Alabama wants to win and Michigan wants to win. And I think this game is more for the future players that, going into next season, to carry that momentum. So, look, I want to win the game. I'm not going to sit here and lie. If we lose, am I going to be sad? No, not like the other 5 losses we had, but I'm still expect a very aggressive physical game while it lasts, man, the whole 4 quarters. So, I can't wait.
No doubt. For me, obviously, the season wasn't what preseason what we expected it to be. 12-0 repeat, Big Ten champions, repeat national title champions. That was not in the cards. It was never going to be. Just based on the personnel. Honestly, nobody was taking into account. We had one returning starter on offense this year. I think anybody that said that this team was going to be 12-0, including myself, was being unrealistic. We lost all of the coaches on the defensive side of the ball. We lost a legend in Jim Harbaugh. Say what you want to say about Jim Harbaugh, but he's a good coach, and the proof is in the pudding. I mean, look at the Chargers today, right? Between he and Jesse Minter, they're a completely different team in Los Angeles. I almost said San Diego, which they should be the San Diego Chargers.
I see a lot of people on ESPN making that mistake.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They should be the San Diego Chargers, but I digress.
Agreed. Spanos family sucks.
Yes, absolutely.
And Harbaugh can't bring the Chargers a Super Bowl. That means it's all on the Spanos. They're the ones that screwed it up.
1,000%. It can't be done. If Jim can't win it, the Chargers will never win one. Which, by the way, as a Raider fan, I hope they never do. So, there's that. But yeah, so the season has been a disappointment, even if we were being unrealistic. We had unrealistic goals. It's been a disappointment. But what I do like is what I saw in the second half of the season. Really, starting with the second half of that Oregon game, which could have gotten real shopper ranks. It looks like the team dug deep, found something to play for, and from that moment on was a different team. We still lost some games after that, but it was different from the first half. So that's what I'll take from it. We do have to keep the conversation progressing. So, gentlemen, Jackson, my guy Nick Saban Jr., how you guys feel about who's going to be playing for you? It looks like, from what I can tell, everybody is available for Alabama in this
pretty much everyone that didn't transfer.
Well, yes, of course. And by the way, thank you for
Justice
for that
Haynes.
transfer portal, Payne and
Hey,
Haynes.
we gave him Keon Saab last year. This is their repayment for that loan.
I will say,
thank you for keeping Bryce Underwood the heck away from Brian Kelly.
Facts.
Thank you for helping us because he was down there when y'all put that beating on him. And I don't care what anybody says. That had something to do with him deciding to flip.
absolutely, everything mattered. That said, your secondary right now looks like a who's who of who could have been Michigan players. But obviously chose to go to Alabama. That said, it doesn't look like you guys are missing very many starters from your season in this game, at least from what I saw. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Well, let me ask a question on that to Jackson and Nick. If it wasn't Michigan that you guys were playing against that after you lost in the Rose Bowl, do you think you would have more opt-outs?
I'm gonna tell you no, because Alabama is not known for opting out. A lot of players they're not known for opting out around this time of year, and that's what I like cool about Alabama. They for some reason they don't opt out. Like we probably had somebody in the past. I can't even remember because it's been so few opt-outs. I can't even remember opt-outs in the past, honestly.
No doubt.
Well, you look back at the Sugar Bowl from 2022. Bryce Young could have opted out of the Sugar Bowl. Nobody would have blamed him, but he didn't. He toughed it out, and he played the full game. And you don't see a lot of our guys pulling what Cam Ward was pulling in the second half, where he's just like, "Oh, well, I got the record. We're done. Bye-bye." It's like you don't see our guys doing that. Like we may not have had a great year this year by our standards, but we at least have a team culture, unlike the University of Miami.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I hope Notre Dame throws the holy water on Miami in week 1 next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of you being back and they're never back.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. That's just
the U is so bad they have to brag about a win against Cal because that's where College Game Day was.
Damn it. That is pretty bad.
As far as offensively, so everyone is playing because you guys got a wide receiver. Yeah, that guy, Ryan Williams. My goodness. We already saw Jeremiah Smith this year. We saw the Oregon offense. We've seen the Texas. So, Jeremiah Smith is probably the closest thing to Ryan. I mean, I believe they're gonna be 1A, 1B, however you want to put them, going into next season, man. What was your guys' thoughts on him as a 17-year-old freshman this season?
Well, me personally, I liked him a lot. Honestly, did I know he was that dude? Yes, because I live in Alabama and I watch a lot of high school football. I said, but I always give these young kids the benefit of the doubt coming in as a true freshman, and with him being supposed to be senior in high school, should have been playing in the state championship this couple of months, about a month back. I was like, I think with NIL, we're going to put him in, but I didn't think he was going to have that much of an impact right away. That I know he was capable of that. Yes, in the future, I've seen that, but right away, I didn't see that much of an impact being had. And so that was a plus for me as a fan to see that, and his upside is going to be even stupider next season and moving forward.
Well, and after week 5, I felt, and I'm guilty of throwing the cart in before the horse when I was like, "Oh, Ryan Williams going to win the Heisman. He's going to win the Heisman." But like, I thought he was, but then Vanderbilt happened. We let the Georgia win go to our heads. I mean, my God. But Ryan Williams has been tremendous this season. But for 2025 and beyond, we have to make sure he's got a partner in crime on the receiving game, because we can't get overly reliant on Ryan Williams.
Do you guys have anybody like that waiting on the roster to step up and take that role?
Well, I don't know yet, but I'm hoping Jeremy Bernard return. But we got the kid from Isaiah Horton from Miami. He was their second leading receiver, and he is a baller. He is a baller, like that I do know of for a fact. And so I think even with the young guys, Jalen Hill return from the injury. The Rico Scotts, the man Cole Adams gonna return. So honestly, I think our wide receiver room is gonna be loaded. But are we gonna have the quarterback come in right away and be able to deliver to those guys? Yes, we expect Ty Simpson, Osmac, whoever them guys is, but will they live up to their expectations?
Yeah, no, definitely. And Jackson, you said something earlier that was very key. You said if we ran the ball more this season. And when you look at Alabama's success, the reason why, one of the key reasons why, you guys was so physical on both sides of the line of scrimmage. That D line and that O line and the running backs you had. You always had bruises, Mark Ingram, of course, Henry. What was the other running back? Lacey. I mean, you guys just had monsters. You guys had monsters for years. With that O line and D line, it was just tough. So I agree, man. If Alabama's gonna get back to who they were, you gotta start at the line of scrimmage, and you start to see Michigan is doing that. And it shows that once you dominate the line of scrimmage, it doesn't matter if the opposing team has 3 5-star wide receivers. That's not going to do anything. It starts at the line of scrimmage. So, yes, you are 100% correct regarding that.
No doubt. So, gentlemen, one of the things that has been, I don't know if I want to call it like a thorn in your side or whatever, because this guy is an absolutely phenomenal athlete. He's good at times, but then there's other times where there is some head scratching. But Jalen Milroe, at the quarterback position for Alabama, what do you think when it's all said and done, what his legacy is at Alabama? Does he go down as one of the greats, or is he just a guy that's a placeholder for who will be the next great Alabama quarterback?
Well, let's just say he got a good history against got a good record against Auburn.
Right.
He's amazing against Auburn.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call him a great, but I believe he's somebody that is going to always be remembered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, it was ups and downs with him, but for the most part, he'll be remembered. He'll be remembered a lot in the future.
Yeah,
we won't forget him.
Yeah. I mean, because like 2024, I mean, I don't see Milroe returning for 2025. Like he won't be quite as remembered as like Joe Namath, Kenny Stabler, or Bryce Young.
right.
But I think he'll be like known as like a placeholder. Maybe somebody like I won't go as far as say like he'll be like this generation's equivalent of Pat Trammell, but still,
That's a name.
yeah, Pat Trammell was Bear Bryant's favorite player.
Yeah.
Do you think Milroe will be a quarterback in the NFL, or they're gonna switch him to another position?
My opinion, I think he'll be a quarterback because the NFL is stupid. Look at Anthony Richardson. I wouldn't draft him. They are stupid. He can go to the combine, jump high, run fast, throw the ball out the stadium, and oh my God, he's the next best thing.
Yo, you said it, not us. I want that. Let the record reflect.
Hey, y'all know it's true. It's true. Look at Anthony Richardson. I seen one game with Anthony Richardson when he played Kentucky, and I'm like, that is the one game he should have played 2 more seasons of college football. But hey, he can run fast and jump high.
There you go.
Well, I think that Milroe will, if he's in the NFL, I'm thinking somebody could have him be like Heinz Ward, where they switch positions, or we could see him in the UFL. We don't know yet on what the future's looking like, but I think we'll know a little more come NFL draft time.
I'm gonna tell you what I had said during the season. I said this is my opinion. It's very opinionated. Jalen Milroe, best bet is to get drafted by the Baltimore Ravens and be a backup to Lamar.
I might not be that's not a bad job to have.
So let me ask you something about Alabama, because like I saw Dom bring this up earlier. Like, okay, and you mentioned the culture earlier, Jackson. I lived in Tennessee for a long time, and so I was really close to the SEC, to the Alabama Tennessee rivalry, all that stuff for many years. And I always had respect for Saban because he in my opinion had a good culture at the school and ran a pretty disciplined team. One of the biggest problems I had with Alabama this year was when I was watching that back in the Vanderbilt game. Malachi Moore, is that his name? Malachi Moore? And the tantrum that he threw on that field, I remember watching that and thinking, man, if Nick Saban was the coach and that happened, he'd be walking back to Alabama. I was a little shocked to find out today that he's a captain on the team. So do you feel that there's been any loss of that culture with Kalen DeBoer taking over this team? Because I don't believe Malachi Moore would have been a captain after that game if Nick Saban was still there.
Oh, agreed. I mean, if Coach Saban was still there, Malachi Moore, like you said, he wouldn't be a captain. He'd be like, you're gonna earn your spot back and you're gonna act better. You're not gonna throw hissy fits on the sidelines.
I mean, that was just embarrassing, man. And I just couldn't believe it. So, like, do you think that affects the team's play on the field?
I think.
And what do you think on that? Both of you?
A little bit this year.
Yeah.
I think it has.
Do you think it's a Kalen DeBoer problem, or is it just this particular year?
It's just this particular year.
Because my opinion on that, like people point out, they putting a lot on Kellen DeBoer, but to me, discipline has been kind of leaving the door anyway, even with Saban. And I'm talking about far like penalty-wise, undisciplined penalty-wise, and like a lot of stuff been like leaving even when Saban was here. And I think it was okay? No. But you talking about I lost to Vanderbilt, somebody that's really passionate about Alabama, the lackluster play that game, period. It happened. Do you got to control your emotions a whole lot better? Yeah, but I know I played in the trench before, and I know you can spaz out by lack of effort from your team and lack of effort, like as a whole. Period. I'm not saying he was one not to blame for none of it neither, but I spazzed out before. I know I just.
I mean, there's a difference between getting upset because I like that fire. Like, get upset, use it. But he was like kicking the football and like shoving people like just from behind, like blindside. It just seemed like he was throwing a tantrum. That's not.
He was acting like a Kardashian.
I don't remember ever seeing any player do that in the Saban era.
Yeah. So,
well, there was a guy on the sideline I remember poignantly in the Saban era, in the last couple of years actually, who like went ballistic on the sideline.
Actually, the kid is from my area too.
Yeah,
he's from my area.
Yeah, he got kicked off the team for that. I think I was playing in the Sugar Bowl or in the SEC Championship. It was a dome game. I remember.
But see, that's my point, though. Saban kicked him off the team.
Yeah,
and DeBoer made him a captain.
But I'm gonna tell you about him. He was somebody that was gonna transfer out because he didn't flourish no way. Like when he left, he didn't flourish. Like he was probably on the way out anyway, regardless.
Yeah. I mean, and speaking of DeBoer, what's your guys' thoughts on him in his first season? Were you guys content, disappointed, and how you feel about him moving forward?
I felt like it was basically going to be a 10-2 year this year, but I mean, I didn't like that it was a 9-3 year, but this is what I expected. A lot of the fans because I remember when I went to go get my hair done at my aunt's salon, like there are a few people saying Nick Saban wouldn't have done that. Nick Saban wouldn't have done. Well, here's the thing though. This is very similar to the first year of the Ray Perkins era. A lot of people are going to be feeling down. It's not going to be the year that they want. I mean, it's not like we're going 5-6, but if we're going 9-3 next year, then it's a problem. Let's look at the track record of Kalen DeBoer. When he was doing fantastic as an offensive coordinator in Indiana. He did so fantastic over there. He got hired as the Nets head coach of Fresno State. Did a tremendous job over there. Look back on week 3 of 2021. The way Fresno State beat UCLA was fantastic. Then you see him take over as the Nets head coach at Washington. He turns around that culture so well that we forgot about how bad Washington was in 2021, where they were losing to Montana in week 1. I mean, the magic that Michael Penix made in 2022, 2023 was the magic from Ryan Grubb, the OC, and head coach Kalen DeBoer. And I remember where I went on the Big Ten show in January of this year, Sonny Verma and Justin Adams asked me, who would you want to see Alabama hire as the Nets head coach now that Nick Saban is gone? And at that time, I said that it should be either Dan Lanning from Oregon or it should be Kalen DeBoer from Washington. I fear that at the time, I feared that we were going to go the former Saban assistant route, but it does my heart very well to the fact that we're not getting overly reliant on nostalgia, where we're just hiring the first random Saban assistant. You can't do that because, like, you look at the New England Patriots, for example, there's only one Bill Belichick. You see all these NFL teams in the NFL, they're hiring the Belichick assistant. It doesn't work out like that. Now, I'm not saying hiring a Saban assistant means you're going to fail, because you look at Georgia, they're fantastic with Kirby Smart. And there's numerous other teams I can, like Kurt Cincinnati, Indiana. Bam. Matter of fact, he helped Saban build that first staff of 2007.
Yep.
But don't expect every Saban assistant to be the savior for your program.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, we look at Maryland, we see how well that's worked out for him. And I can guarantee you when they hired him, they didn't look at his record from New Mexico. It was horrible. It was horrible.
No doubt. All right, guys. The moment of truth, right? We've come to this point. Reliaquest Bowl, unfortunately, that's what we've been resigned to. Before we get to that, I do have one final question to ask you guys before we get to our score predictions. Do you think Alabama should have been in the 12-team playoff?
No.
We screwed ourselves the moment we lost to Oklahoma 24-3.
Yep.
And I thought we were going to get in, but then when you watch the ACC championship game, there were people throughout Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, everywhere saying, we're going to leave the ACC. We're going to throw out the ACC title game if SMU's left out. We're going to throw it out. We're going to throw it out. And then, you see Clemson just smacking SMU off the face of the earth. Then you see SMU just coming back to the point where they're tying the game in the final minute of the game. And you hear Sean McDonough saying that I've seen enough. I mean, SMU should be in. Like, the moment you heard ESPN people saying SMU should be in, that's when you knew SMU was going to be in. In any other year, you wouldn't have seen Alabama get left out in favor of SMU. Now, was I mad about Alabama not being in? I'm like, I love my Crimson Tide, but we screwed ourselves with the losses to Vanderbilt and to Oklahoma. We got overly reliant, and we just did. We got overly reliant thinking we were going to get in. We shouldn't have lost to the Oklahoma Sooners. We shouldn't have. And, it's like we need to make sure we learn from our mistakes from 2024.
So that's exactly how I felt. I said, no, we don't deserve to be in. People was talking about SMU strength of record. I said, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. They played conference, but at the end of the day, there was 11-2. They lost their second game in the conference championship. So whatever, I ain't mad at it. But what I wanted to take away from it, and this coming from a coaching mindset and a player mindset, I wanted this current coaching staff and the current players that will remain on this team to take this as a learning lesson. Don't get in the. I'm glad they didn't get in the playoffs at 9-3, and it gives you that mindset of, oh, we can do mediocre and still get in the playoffs because we Alabama. I want everybody to learn from this coaching staff and these players to learn from this moment to take care of business. Like I said, we talk about strength of schedule on the Alabama side. I get it, but we lost 2 to 3 games to the non-strength of the schedule to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. That is never okay to lose to Vanderbilt.
And as a matter of fact, when we lost to Vanderbilt, it was not only the first time since 1984 that we lost them, but the first time since 1969 that we lost to them in Nashville. That's bad.
Yes. That is never okay.
Who was the president in '69?
Richard Nixon was the president at that time because it was in October 1969. Lyndon B. Johnson left the presidency in January 20th, 1969.
Wow, that's crazy. One thing I would say, man, before we get you guys score prediction on this game. Thank you for being realists, man. Like I said, you guys are not Homer fans. You know, you guys are keeping it 100% across the board, and I respect that, man. But you know, listen, man, in less than about another 12 hours, 16 hours, Michigan will be taking the field against Alabama. Gentlemen, what are you expecting, and what's your final score prediction for this game tomorrow?
Well, I expect to get our ground game going against the Michigan Wolverines. I expect to see Jalen Milroe have a pretty good game. And I think it's going to be a little closer than the experts have it. I kind of feel like the juice has kind of run out a little bit on Michigan after that huge victory over Ohio State. But I think everybody's focusing on 2025, honestly. I don't really think the result of this game is going to change anything. I think 2025 is going to be better for Alabama and Michigan than it was this year. But in conclusion, I think Alabama is going to win 28-17 against the Michigan Wolverines.
It's not bad.
So I'm the same way. Somebody put in the chat earlier, what happens if Michigan wins? Nothing happens. Nothing happens at all. I'm more focused on the guys. Like, we had a lot of people transfer, the young guys that get opportunity. Can we build off this guy? I'm looking for opportunities that haven't been given all season. Honestly, I'm one of those guys that I am not mad if Jalen Milroe pulls a Cam Ward, because I'm ready. I'm so this is like an early spring to see what we got. This is why I'm like, do I want to see Jalen Milroe have a good game? Yes, but I want to see this running back game. I want to see this defense. How do we look against this defense? Because one thing we know what Michigan does, they run the ball well. They got some new starter guys coming in too for this game, so they run the ball well. How well do we stop this run attack that Michigan have? I want to see those adjustments. Overall, man, Alabama by 50, baby. not serious.
I ain't mad at you.
Still, I had 35-17 though. That's where I was at with 35-17.
No doubt,
okay,
man. Gentlemen, Jackson Johnson of Voice of College Football. Tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on, man.
Well, they can find me on Alabama with the Voice of College Football, where last Monday we had John D. Animo and TJ Ronan discussing the preview of the Alabama-Michigan matchup. But also, you can find today's episode of Crimson Tide Live, where Johnny and I talked a little bit about the pregame analysis, our take on the NIL offers for Keelan Russell, and the memorable moments of New Year's Day for the history of Alabama football. And I can tell you, it was a wild ride. And of course, you can also find my other show on Jackson Johnson 979, the Jacksonian, where I have all kinds of guests, including my
Oh shit.
You dropped them down too early.
I did. And I didn't even mean to do that. Sorry, Jackson.
Jackson, finish that. Sorry.
Go ahead. There we go.
Oh, it's okay. You can also find my latest episode, The Jacksonian, on Jackson Johnson 979 on YouTube, where I have on Alan Cole, the South Carolina beat writer from Gamecock Scoop at Rivals, where we talked a little bit about the South Carolina Gamecocks from this season, the South Carolina Illinois preview, and what we wanted for Christmas at the end of the show, because it was released 2 days before Christmas, of course. And for more updates on what I'm doing on the Jacksonian and on Alabama Voice College Football, check out my takes on Jackson BOCFB on @/Twitter and Jackson Johnson 543-908 on Instagram.
No doubt. Jackson, real quick. I see the helmet. Are you a Jets fan?
I was when I was a little boy, but my dad got me this floating Jets helmet for Christmas of 2021.
Got you.
Because I like the Titans. The Jets, I used to really like them as a little boy because I liked watching the Joe Namath highlights.
Of course, right.
But
no doubt, man.
The Jets, they're going to be horrible as long as they got Woody Johnson as owner. They're a disgrace and a disaster. And they're so bad that people on Jeopardy didn't even get them a week or so ago. Like Ken Jennings is asking, Final Jeopardy category for Super Bowl history is Super Bowl history. Here's the clue. This team has made a Super Bowl in 1969, but they have not made it since Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. They couldn't figure out it was the Jets. Somebody got the Giants. Like, really? The Giants made it to the Super Bowl in the 80s, 2007, 2011. I'm going to tell you right now, all these contestants need to read their history on pro football and college football. I mean, if you're going to be on Jeopardy like ever, you need to read the history of everything. Literally everything. But I mean, I was just like, the Jets are that bad.
No, absolutely. I was going to say I was sorry if you were.
Do you know the last time the Chargers won a title?
A title of any sort? I'm gonna guess it was sometime when LaDainian was playing. Maybe they won the AFC West.
No, they won the West many times.
Well, they've been to a Super Bowl in the 1994 season where they played.
I remember that. That's right. They won the AFC title in '94. Natron Means was the running back.
Yeah.
Yes.
The last time
my 49ers. The last time my 49ers won the Super Bowl.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right.
The last time the Chargers won a league title of any kind was against the Patriots 51-10 in the 1963 AFL season.
Amazing. Yeah, I would never have guessed that. I will say that. But Jackson, thank you for coming on, man. Nick Saban Jr., same question to you, sir. Tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on.
Find me on YouTube, Nick Saban Jr. Sports Talk TV. And right now I'm in the beginning of a revamp. I'm an Alabama fan that hard, but I love talking college football. So I'm in the process right now of tweaking that right now, but it's Nick Saban Jr. Sports Talk TV on YouTube. You can find me on X, type in Nick Saban Jr., then you'll see the Nick Saban statue face pop up, and same on Instagram. But yeah, man, I have fun doing it. Look out for the revamp part of it. And I knew Jackson dude, I know his face looked familiar because I watched a lot of the Voice of College Football. I watch a lot of that when I'm at work, just listening, working and stuff. So I knew when I said, why does he look familiar? So yeah,
we only get superstars on this channel. Only superstars.
I see. So I'm a fan of what you do, man.
I didn't even know I was a star, honestly.
I'm highly aware.
No doubt, man. Well, I appreciate both of you guys, man. Until next time, we got to get you guys back. But you already know, go blue. But we wish you guys good luck, man.
Appreciate you guys coming on.
Stay safe and stay warm, gentlemen. It's cold out.
No doubt.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jackson Johnson, voice of college football, Nick Saban Jr. of Nick Saban Jr. TV.
Go subscribe to them.
Be sure to do that.
Those dudes, they good dudes, man. Those I could have them up here anytime, man. They're realists, and this is what I've always mentioned, man. About being realists. Unfortunately, those guys from the other state, there's no accountability there. It's always
Yeah,
the win. It's the truth. You never hear them be honest like that. I'm just keeping it real. There's an excuse behind it. It was Chip Kelly. It was like you lost, bro. Just keep it real. But like you say, that's here nor there. But shout
no
to
doubt.
Jackson and shout to Nick Saban Jr., man. Those are good dudes.
Of course. Without any further ado, we do have special guests, and they happen to be from that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. No disrespect, respectfully, but disrespectfully. Uh, but I want to thank both of these guys for coming on. First, we got my guy, first time on the show. Without any further ado, welcome, Mr. Cleveland Mike of Best Damn Media. If that, oh, there it is. It did come up. Shout out to Cleveland Mike, Best Damn Media. And you already know, friend of the show all the time. This guy has a million jobs. Garrison of Scarlet and Blue Show, voice of college football, Buckeyes, or whatever they call them over there. Shout out to both of you gentlemen. How you feeling?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you accepting the invite.
Yeah, man. Happy to be here. I mean, I don't like taking responsibility. It's Chip Kelly's fault, and that's not
Absolutely. You right. Yeah. We know we got receipts, Garrison, but you know what? We ain't gonna go back and we ain't gonna get in the ring on this episode. We just here to talk.
No, bro. I admitted on I was on Sports Talk 503 with Ryan for Oregon fan. I admitted, and Mike knows this. I do hold Ryan Day's hand through the fire. I am a habitual Ryan Day hand holder. So
no doubt.
Hey, if we ever can get y'all two in a ring for real, I'm charging for that sparring match.
No, he's the boxing guy. I'm cool, man.
Nah. It's never
Yorkers.
Now, Garrison, I never got to ask you. I never got to ask you this. I remember you saying on your show that if Michigan beat Ohio State, you were going to drive down to Ryan Day's house and have some words with him. How'd that go?
I was too drunk to make it there.
He didn't make it past the police car.
No doubt, man. Hey, this is gonna be a good time, man. Listen, you guys, we had Lucas up here from Week 0, Oregon fan. He jumped down. He had to do something. Unfortunately, we were gonna have you guys and Lucas on, but we got just you guys. And we're gonna make do with it, of course. That said, you got the Rose Bowl coming up, not semifinals, I'm sorry, because we played the semifinals in the Rose Bowl, but I digress. Quarterfinals, Rose Bowl, Oregon versus Ohio State rematch from the game earlier this season. You guys went to Autzen Stadium, lost by 1 point. I'm going to start with you, Cleveland Mike. This is your first time on the show. First, let's talk about that game. Tell me what you took away from that loss. And what you expect in this game coming up.
Yeah, in that game, we just talked about it on our platform. You had young guys out there that were making young guy mistakes, right? There was a couple times where you seen Jeremiah just make freshman mistakes, and going into this game, like Ryan Day likes to say, you're no longer a freshman. You're a sophomore, so I expect, Jeremiah to be having a even better game than what he had the first time. And, the defense just was allowing Oregon to have their way most of that game. And after that game, you heard Ryan Day and the coaching staff say that they had to retool the defense. And to be honest, I don't really feel like it was more retooling. I feel like they allowed Jim Knowles to get back to being Jim Knowles and allowing him to play his defense. I feel like 2023 and the beginning of this season, he's been kind of handicapped ever since what happened in 2022, basically against you all. Ryan Day kind of, you could see him put his hands on the defense. And, the defense that Jim Knowles has been known for running was kind of taken away. And I feel like this time coming up, you're going to see a different defense, and the biggest thing, what we saw Oregon showed that Denzel Burke was the fish, and they picked on him. So hopefully he doesn't get picked on this time.
No doubt, man. Garrison, same question to you. Takeaways from game one and what you expect to see differently in this one.
I thought both teams probably played a B+ game in that. I thought both teams could play better. I thought Ohio State could have played much better, actually, specifically on defense, and even more specifically with Denzel Burke. I agree with Mike. There's a lot of young guys in there making young mistakes. I also thought there were some young guys that didn't get to play in that game. I think Jermaine Matthews had 0 snaps in that game, and he definitely should have been in there. Also, I mean, for both teams in different situations, the ball bounced the other way, or whether it be mistakes. I thought Ohio State, even though Burch wasn't in there for them, and they had a missed field goal. Ohio State had 2 turnovers, one of them being a really good play by I'm missing number 55 there from Michigan State. Derek Harmon. He made a really good play, but that's the lone strip or fumble from the Ohio State running backs this year. That's the only one. So it's that hurt them, and to come out there and lose by 1 point, it sucks. But I thought coming out of it, 2 things were, I knew those are the 2 best teams in the country, but I also thought Ohio State could beat that team. I actually think after the game I said, no, I think Ohio State's better than them. But you can't really say that now after one team goes 13-0 and you go 10-2. And so no, I thought that there are a lot of things that we could take from there. There are situations defensively, just like Mike said, where we weren't running his defense. Jim Knowles being that. It seems as though here later in the season, Jim Knowles and LJ have finally figured things out, and so that's somewhat nice to see. But I'm really excited for this because I think it's going to be a similar game as we saw last time.
No doubt. Dexter Green, shout out to Dexter Green. Thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, listening to Garrison talk about the other state is more exhausting. Listening to a non-binary kid explaining, you know what? I shouldn't have read this out loud, bro. Hey, I will say that. Shout out to Dexter Green. He's a member. You should become a member.
That's my guy.
Yeah. Yo. I knew, funny. First of all, Garrison, you knew you were coming into the chat. Anytime you come up, is going to go.
Oh my God!
It's let me say that. Garrison is a friend of the channel, ladies and gentlemen.
I love my Michigan fans. I love them.
Yeah. That said, I do have a question, and Mike, I saw you reply to this in the chat. There are people, especially more so outside of your fan base, right, who believe that I affectionately called him the Honda McCourt last year. He played a little like Maserati McCourt this year. Now granted, he did have some terrible games too. We gotta throw that in there. But there are people who believe that he's better than Will Howard. What say you to that?
I would say, man, hey, I'm down with all the trolling, man, but I really hope that that's just trolling, right? Let's actually be ball knowers. If you believe that McCord is better than Will Howard because of what he is doing in the ACC, then let's just say you don't watch ball in the ACC. Let's be honest about it. There's a reason why there is no ACC team left in the CFP playoffs. So we can start there. We can start there as well, man. And wow, what they do, beat Miami, the same Miami team that hasn't had a defense show up for them all season long. So if people want to hype that up, hey, go ahead. But I think as Big Ten fans or people who are fans of Big Ten teams, I think we know that in the Big Ten, you're going to play better defenses. You're going to play better teams. You're going to have better talent, which is why, McCord in the beginning of the season, Garrison, correct me if I'm wrong, but they asked McCord, what does he expect going into the season? And he said, oh, yeah, I believe there's going to be a lot of shootouts. And what does that tell you? He knew that there was no defenses. You believe that there's going to be shootouts? There's no defense in the conference. So, like I said, I believe in trolling. Trolling's fun. Just make sure you know you're trolling and you ain't, taking that to your death.
Okay, so question here then for you two. You're down 6. You got to make one drive into the game to win the game. You can choose Will Howard and Jeremiah Smith, or you can have Kyle McCord and Marvin Harrison Jr. Which combo you taking?
Will Howard and Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah. So okay. No, and this is what I would say, right? It's not. I don't think it's about who's better. I just think who fits the system better, right? You saw Kyle McCord last year on the road, clutch game, clutch drive. Drove Ohio State down to beat Notre Dame and South Bend. Now, by it, we know Freeman can't count. He put 10 players on the field. But nonetheless, McCall made some big throws in that drive, right? And he won the game. He only lost one game all season as Ohio State quarterback against probably or arguably the greatest Michigan team of all time in Ann Arbor. And he was driving to take the lead, until that interception occurred with Rob Moore. We seen Will Howard in the same position against Oregon. He had that same opportunity to beat Oregon. He made the mistake. He lost that game in that moment. They lost that moment I'm talking about. And then he loses to Michigan at home, right? So he already has 2 losses in the regular season. McCord only had 1. And it was tough. And Will Howard has a better team. Let's be honest. He has a way better team than last year. So again, it's subjective here. How do you rank Will Howard better than McCord? I don't know. McCord, his second season in the system, I think he would have been an animal. In fact, I was happy he transferred, because I think he would have been better this season. Now, I'm not saying he's a better quarterback than Will Howard. I'm just saying he would have been a better fit in the second season. Now, by it, he didn't want to compete. We know, all that. I'm just talking about me just looking at it as a fan. Now, I get it. If Will Howard goes on to win the Natty, the discussion, it doesn't matter. He got the ultimate prize. But so far from what I've seen from both guys, but I'm a Michigan fan. I think McCall is the better fit for you guys. And and I gave my reasons why.
So, all right. So here's the thing. You gotta sure.
I'm interested in this one.
Yeah, does Will Howard have a better team? Yeah, and you gotta understand something, everyone. And Mike can speak to this, and I'm sure Mays can too. I used to be one of the biggest Kyle McCord supporters. So it's not like I'm coming here to trash the guy. But here's the truth of the matter. Kyle McCord let's just stop going to the Michigan game. Kyle McCord's offensive line was better. Will Howard is dealing with losing his 2 best linemen and at the 2 most important positions on the O-line, center and left tackle. Now, and I just don't like comparing one game to the other. Also, just some of the coaching decisions that were made in this year's game, such as continuously running up the middle, running passes out of tight sets, and Ryan Day telling Chip Kelly stop doing that shit. There's a lot of things that go into that. At the end of the day, though, Kyle McCord is not better for the system, and the reason is because we couldn't really roll him out. With Will Howard, we can. There are plenty of situations where Will Howard gets out of sacks where it would have been a clear sack for Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord wasn't good at deep passes. Now, I'm not saying Will Howard lights it up with his deep passes, but I think he's better than what he is. I think Will Howard right now, from on the boundaries, 15 yards and above and more, he's 78% right now in the season. And Emeka and JJ are the only 2 receivers in the top 20 are in the top 20 as a duo. So there's all that. And also I think it's just this simple, bro. Will Howard's throwing 73% right now. Cal McCord threw what 64, 65 and throwing around the same way right now, and he's throwing the ball 500 plus times. If Will Howard was at Syracuse, I don't doubt he would have the same statistics and probably even better because he can run the ball. He has more passing touchdowns than he does right now, has added on 7 other rushing touchdowns. He's just better.
But when you say throwing the ball, right? I've mentioned this. Will Howard, right? His most passing attempts this season was 36 against Oregon. His second most passing attempts was against Michigan, 33. What was the outcome of those games, gentlemen?
No,
I'm just saying. Hold on. I'm making a point. I'm gonna make a point. I don't understand this infatuation when people call Will Howard this great passer. When Will Howard is in the 20, but when he's in the 25, the 28 range, you guys are cooking. That means you guys are doing good. You need balance, gentlemen. So that just tells you the 2 games that he threw the most.
Wait, repeat that again. Repeat that again. What range? Repeat that again.
I said the 2 games that he threw the most.
And it really don't.
He's at 25.
No, listen. I'm giving you numbers, guys. I'm just saying because this infatuation with Will Howard just boggles me. He has a lot of interceptions. He throws a lot of picks. A lot, like what are you doing out there, picks?
Wait.
Right?
So wait. There's been 3 times this season where Will Howard has thrown the ball 30 plus times. Oregon, you guys, and Tennessee. So in 2 of those games, he lit the world on fire. So my question is, knowing that now, what do you think he's closer to? The 2 performances?
It's not even just that. Like, everybody wants to talk numbers and, he threw the ball. How is he throwing the ball, right? Like, no one wants to talk about that. Mm-hmm. How was he throwing the ball? Why was it different in the Team Up North game than the other game? Why was the fan base complaining? The fan base, I seen the rebuttals and everything on Twitter when the Ohio State fans was like, we needed to throw the ball. And y'all was like, you threw the ball 30 plus times. It wasn't about just it wasn't about just throwing the ball. It was how we were doing it, where we were doing it.
But they had a very balanced attack. Syracuse also ran it more than almost any other team too. They were like in the top 20 of run attempts.
Hold on. Are we talking Ohio State?
No. Leave them.
We're talking Syracuse. I gotta figure. Like we
do need to move the conversation forward too, right? You guys have answered the questions. I'm not gonna bog the conversation down with Will Howard versus Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord is at home preparing for whatever, or maybe he's not preparing for whatever bowl they're about to play.
He's trying to get another year of eligibility, ain't he?
I don't know. I'm not gonna, whatever. I think, whatever. I'm gonna withhold my opinion on Kyle McCord and Will Howard. I think we'll see what happens. Will Howard is the one thing that he is doing is playing. He's still playing for a national championship, right? Kyle McCord, for all that we want to talk about how good he was or not, he didn't even get that opportunity. And Will Howard is playing for the ultimate prize.
Why didn't he get that opportunity?
In a crappier conference.
Well, it was Michigan. Michigan prevented him from getting that opportunity. And we damn near. Well, it wasn't. We weren't going to prevent you guys from getting it, especially with the way this 12-team playoff is. And speaking of the 12-team playoff, Cleveland Mike, I tuned into your show today. I caught the back end of it, and I saw you guys having this conversation about the 12-team playoff. We had this conversation last week about the 12-team playoff and how it kind of has watered down what we thought of a playoff, right? That said, what are your thoughts on the 12-team playoff for those who didn't get to hear you talk about it? And we're going to give the same question to you, Garrison.
Oh, so, I mean, everybody was shocked or pissed off that we had blowouts in the college football playoff. But, I mean, if you watch the college football playoff in the history of it, even in the 4 teams, we had blowout. Michigan State got blown out in 2015. Ohio State got blown out in 2016. We watched Notre Dame get blown out. We watched Cincinnati get blown out. And I've always said that if they are going to expand it, it needs to go to 6, maybe 8. But anything more than that is excessive. And the reason being is my co-host was saying, no, I like the 12 teams. And, you can see that, the top seeds won, right? Okay, well, if the top seeds won, that tells you that's 8 teams. 4 teams shouldn't even been there. Everybody want to argue about Alabama and Ole Miss. The same performances that we saw Alabama put up against Ole Miss, can't we just say that that's the same performance Tennessee put up? Can we say that that's the same performance Ole Miss put up going up against Florida and Kentucky? So I just think that the 12-team playoffs is too much. Of course, they don't care my opinion. They're going to expand it. But I just want y'all to know, like you said, it is watered down. Don't be expecting like these great games. And if we're going to get more G5 programs in here as well, like I said on my show, you got SMU one removed from the G5 to go up against Penn State, and they look like they didn't belong. And guess what? It looked similar to Cincinnati going up against Bama when they did in the CFP. So I've always said G5 need their own CFP, and to be honest, I would enjoy watching that even more.
So what do you think? Do you think it should be an 8-team, or do you think we should have stuck with the 4-team?
8 teams will be good because I really think now you have actual good matchups. Now I think that they could switch up like the automatic bid stuff so you don't get a Arizona State just sitting there at 4 or whatever. I do think they could switch that up, but I think 8 is good. I think you got a good Ohio State, Oregon's a good matchup. The Georgia Notre Dame is a good matchup. I think Arizona probably should have been playing in the first round. Sorry. But it just is what it is. But I think that the 8 teams will give you better equal matchups from there versus 12 teams.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Garrison?
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Eight teams would have been better. You would have gotten better matchups. Like I tweeted about this earlier, and it goes to what Mike just talked about with Penn State and SMU, and even more so when people were picking Boise State to beat them. I think there's a misconception of some programs, and that when they actually get on the field with some of these other schools like an SMU, they're gonna blow them out. I think that the same thing with Ohio State and Tennessee. Tennessee's a good team. They have talent on their team. Player for player, it ain't there. It's just not. And so, and then Indiana, like in terms of for the 12 team. Yeah, I was fine with them getting in because was their schedule weak for a Big Ten schedule? Yeah, but you still went to the Big Ten, you win 11-1. But then you see them go against Notre Dame, looks a whole lot different, doesn't it? So, yeah, is 12 teams too many? Yes. Do they care about my opinion? No. But it just is what it is now. And now I think this is where you start to. Out of 2 of the 4 games, you start to see some real competition.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you gentlemen made some great points regarding that. I think I'm on board with the 8 as well. But unfortunately, before they downsize it, they're gonna add teams. So don't be surprised. Yeah. We see 16 in the near future very soon, and it's true. It gets watered down. We love college football. We love the matchups, but a lot of them we already know what's going to be the outcome. A majority, like you said, all the top seeds won, and they won pretty comfortably. Like no game was a 1-possession game. Like they were all blowouts. Now in the quarterfinals, I think yes. Out of these 4 games we're gonna get, I think about 3 should be like 1-possession games. There might be one that might be a 2-possession game, or they just all might be classics, which I'm hoping for.
Right. Gentlemen, I know we've had you here for a minute. I want to get to the point where we get you. It's just so much. You guys, it's Ohio State. There's a lot to talk about. One final question before we get to what we came to get to, and that's who you guys are choosing to win, which it is no shocker who you guys are choosing to win. But I do want to get those score predictions. One final question, and that is, what was your score predictions going into the Michigan game? Hey yo, hold on. Cleveland Mike. I've been waiting for Cleveland Mike. Hold on, because as a fellow Ohioan, I felt a little way when you got up there and you sang Soul to Soul preseason on Garrison's show. You know what I mean? I felt a little way back. Now, granted, I will give you this credit. We have kind of gone back to reality in terms of the 7-5 record, but what was not reality was us, or what is our new reality is handing the other state these fresh shells.
I was 50-50. I was 50-50.
Yeah. So tell me what you thought pre or before the game and then afterwards.
Oh man, I thought we was gonna stump a mud hole in you. I think I picked us to beat y'all by like 20 points or something like that. I mean, to be honest, bro, I really did. I think maybe you guys have seen it. I just put a video out of Chip Kelly's interview that he had before they went to the Rose Bowl. And he was saying how they game plan in the run game and how they look at the D-line and they see is the edge their strength or the D tackles their strength. Well, you don't want to go against their strength. And I tweeted and I said, all I can do is laugh. If you know, you know, because honestly, it made no sense to go over 10 times running at the strength of your defense, bro. I could never predict that. I don't think any Ohio State fan to this day can understand what happened. I know you guys just like, hey, you lost, but nah, bro, like it made no sense, bro. And if you could just if you could take your team up north glasses off, you could sit there and say, why the hell did they just run into the strength of our defense over 10 times? It's a wasted down, and it's wasted time.
Every single time.
Well, but I think one thing that I was actually surprised by, because watching the game, I felt like that too. I was like, man, they're running it. Why aren't they passing it? But you look at the numbers, they actually did pass it quite a bit. It just wasn't working.
Just not where we needed.
It was horizontally instead of vertically. Yeah. That's the issue.
Yeah. But they were doing a good job on. I mean, listen, you know what? Let's stay focused, man, because we'll be here. We'll be here for hours. You know how I get.
We're gonna have a space. We're gonna have a space.
Let's stay
focused. Garrison, I know we were waiting. By the way, we called Garrison. Now, granted, and this is my fault. And I think you've been getting some heat for this, by the way, unfairly by fans of this show, because we called you live on the show. That I don't know if you knew that when I called you, we were live on the show. I had the phone up to the microphone and everything. Yeah, we all heard it. We all heard it. You were having Thanksgiving with your family. He was actually having Thanksgiving dinner on Saturday with his family. So I want to clear all of that up.
And it was, bro, it was funny because after the game, I went down to the basement of my parents' house, and my girlfriend comes by the door. My mom's like, "No, sweetheart, just let him stay down there for a little bit." I was down for like 20 minutes, bro. 20 minutes. Just I was just sitting there watching the post game, just with a blank face, look on my face. I think I had to score something like. It was something like 28-6. Like
that's what it was, because I remember you saying that, because you were like, you said we ain't even gonna score a touchdown. You were just like, they got a good kicker.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, thank you, Kane. I'm surprised you remember that, man. Thank you. Wish you didn't. Yeah, I said they got a good kicker.
You said Garrison, fire, brimstone, and rocks. And
I said we were gonna bring hellfire and brimstone.
Michigan wins Saturday.
I said it every week for. I don't know. What if there's a recount in the election? And I don't care about the ifs. How about you answer me this? Answer me this. In the depths of your heart, and I mean the depths of it, in the depths. Actually, no, I'll answer it for you. You know good and doggone well what's about to happen Saturday. You know it. I know it. The rest of your fan base knows it.
We kept the files.
Yeah.
A lot of receipts. Like we Walmart.
And I got beef with you guys. You guys encouraged Bryce to clip up everything I said. Yeah, but no, I was surprised by it. it got to the point where, like, you know, in 2021, I was like, okay, you know, I know we're not going to beat you guys every year. I mean, eventually it had to happen, so I got over that. 2022 pissed me off. 23 got really annoying, and then this year all I could do was laugh at it because I'm like, who would have thought?
Yeah,
Who would have thought? It was an act of God. It was an act of God. Like I just.
I'm not mad at it. Hey, look, shout out to Mike. Thank you for the 199 super chat. He says good, even from the other state. Shout out to Mike for that. Listen, guys, score predictions. I'm gonna let you guys get out of here. I've held you longer than I said I would already. Cleveland Mike, score predictions for the Rose Bowl, Ohio State, Oregon.
Well, Ohio State has been holding opponents under 20 points ever since the Oregon game, even when that team up north beat us. They only got 13 points and only got their touchdown from Will Howard. So, but
wow, Will Howard.
Shout out 3, man. Shout out. But anyways, I got this score being 34-24. I think Ohio State wins by 10 points. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good game, and even though Ohio State's defense has been retooled, I expect Oregon to get theirs, man. Oregon is going to get theirs, but I do see Ohio State's defense being able to make those adjustments and play better as they have been the rest of the season since that game. Like, they've been making adjustments, holding teams to really low numbers, and they've been pretty good at the goal line as well and in the red zone. So,
no doubt. Garrison, same for you.
Yeah, so up until today, I actually had Oregon winning, and then I knew better.
you getting kicked out.
Mike, don't look at me like that, Mike.
Kicked out the group chat.
Mike, everybody knows now. Mike, see, I already know what he's gonna do. I'm gonna go into the next space, and he's gonna call me on that shit.
Make sure you clip this, 3M.
So I have Ohio State 33, Oregon 31. I think it'll be about a 10-point lead, and then Oregon will probably score a touchdown late, but after that, it's gonna be a wrap. I think that I don't like pinning games on one player, but I do pin that game on Denzel Burke. When the rest of the defense gives up 162 passing yards and you give up 8 for 179, my guy, you're the only one I can look at. But at the same time, I don't take everyone's, or even this goes for teams, I won't take your best performance. I won't take your worst performance. What are you on a normal basis? And on a normal basis, Denzel Burke has been one of the best corners in college football. Since the Oregon game, Ohio State hasn't given up one receiving touchdown under 900 yards. Like Mike said, we haven't given up 20 points. Mike, I don't think we've given up more than 17. I think Oregon's the only team that's had more than 17 points on us. So, with that being said, it's not like we're going to just shut them down. But I think that you're going to see both teams play better than they did the first time. But I believe our best game is better than their best game because our defense can touch a level that theirs can't.
So, Garrison, I remember after that last game with Oregon, you said on your show, I don't remember the guy's name. Sorry, I don't know y'all's depth chart that well. But you were saying that you were saying that no. I mean Ohio State's depth chart. You were saying that you didn't know why they kept Burke in the game.
Oh, for Jermaine?
Yeah. So going into this game, do you start Burke or do you put the other guy in?
You start Burke and Nick Minosin, but over the last month, Jermaine Matthews has been in a lot. And Jermaine Matthews, don't get it twisted, is the best corner on this football team. He is.
So are you saying you'd have him in heavy rotation, or are you putting him in?
Hell yeah.
Like how are you rotating them? Yeah, how are you rotating?
Rotation the same way we did against Tennessee. You seen a lot of Jermaine Matthews out there, and honestly, since the Oregon game, as the season continuously has gone on, we've just seen Jermaine Matthews' snap count continuously go up. And I believe that as you see these games, if Ohio State even continues or wins this Oregon game, you will still continue to see a heavy amount of Jermaine Matthews, man. And I'll be honest, they've been playing Jermaine Matthews man, zone. Like, the guy's just a dog, and every time he's out there, he's always making plays.
Yeah. No, I mean, It's tough to pick this game, man, because these two teams are pretty much evenly matched, man. I think Ohio State's defense has been the better unit, obviously, this season. I think there's been more inconsistencies with Oregon's defense opposed to Ohio State's, even though y'all lost, that game, but y'all been more consistent. I think offensively, they have the best offense in America. Now, you might have better skill players than them, but just as a unit, as a whole, Dylan Gabriel's the best quarterback in the playoffs, in my opinion, right? And it's going to be hard to stop those receivers, but for some reason, man, I hate to admit it and I hate to say it, but I think Ohio State edges this game. I think it's going to be more. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want to eat crow, but I'm just and I just think Oregon is due for a loss, man. I don't think no one goes undefeated this season. They are the sole remaining undefeated team. I hope it's not this game where they take that first L, but I think Ohio State finds a way. And in fact, I think they're going to jump on you guys early. And it might be like, oh, shit, this Oregon team is for real. Then I could see a turnover or a big play, momentum changes. And guess who I'm having as the hero? I know you guys don't want to hear this, but your kicker Fielding. He makes it all up.
Hell no.
I'm telling you,
Hell
38.
No.
38, 35, Ohio State. Fielding goes from a 0 to a hero.
Bro, if it gets to a point where Jaden Fielding has to kick a field goal plus 40 yards, I'm not watching the TV while he does it.
Hey, so y'all both predicted that Ohio State's going to win, but tell me what you guys think the biggest weakness Ohio State has that if Oregon takes advantage of it, they could win.
The biggest weakness Ohio State has, I would just say it's either going to be the makeshift O-line, which I think Chip Kelly has done a really good job of scheming around that. Or it's going to be the DBs.
Okay. Yeah, what about you, Garrison? What do you think?
I'm gonna agree with Mike on the O-line. Like one of the reasons why I didn't have us winning at first was just that, like, even though they played great last week, I gotta see it again. And then probably the other one for me would be kind of like one of my favorite matchups in the game is Josh Connolly Jr. versus JTT. They run the ball, I think 60% of the time to the left side this season. And during the first game, they kept running that way, and JTT just couldn't get any pressure in there, even though he had our sole tackle for loss, but he got dealt with that game. He needs to play really good in this game because I think if Oregon is able to run the ball, that's a problem.
No doubt.
Yeah. The last thing too, their receiver, which it was a disgusting act when why he did to Iggy. I didn't like that. Number one. Yeah, so he's gonna be. That was in the second quarter. That was early second quarter. Plus, they get their best D-line defensive play on the D-line. That he's been playing for a couple of weeks. Again, that doesn't change my pick, but it does make a difference. Huh?
You know why he did that?
Who spat on him?
Spit on Iggy? Yeah.
Nah.
Because Iggy fucking had him strapped up.
Can't get open.
Iggy had him strapped up. That boy was frustrated. All his other boys was eating but him. Yeah, he was frustrated.
Iggy be molesting people. He was molesting that man.
Iggy, he a toucher, man. He like to touch a lot of flags. But I get it, man. But regardless,
the defensive version of JJ.
Because I remember when we had Cam Brown and he let y'all run out down the sideline. So I ain't got to worry about that no more.
And to be told, like unlike Burke, don't let him go deep. Grab his ass.
I mean, listen, we all know the only thing that Dan Lanning has to do in order for Oregon to win this game is beforehand make some comments to the media about how the Buckeyes are not tough.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
that didn't work out for Notre Dame, if I'm being honest. But Yeah, no doubt.
It didn't work out for Dabo either. So.
Yeah,
I was
now, it
gonna
should
say,
be.
man.
Clemson ain't been the same since.
Yeah, hey, like outside of y'all, outside of playing y'all, when Ryan Day when he gets his payback games.
Hey, Ryan Day's still looking for Lou Holtz, though.
Yeah. Also, remember, so as of right now, Ryan Day is currently 0-2 against Oregon. So if he loses on Wednesday, do we say he also has an Oregon problem along with a Michigan problem?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
I would say I would have to I mean, because shoot, the team up north problem is happening every year, right? I mean, this would, I obviously be 2 losses in 1 year, but I mean, if we did that, it's just saying Oregon's obviously the better team this year. And I know people want to talk about our roster and everything, but people don't know Oregon paid more for their roster as well. Nobody want to talk about that. But
what did Miami spend, Mike?
Don't nobody want to talk about that either. But it's because we the Buckeyes, man. It's just because we the Buckeyes. But I also put in y'all chat in here, man. I said I don't think that Ryan Day beats y'all till he sees a therapist. Y'all got him. It is what it is, bro. He got that mental block. That man needs to see a therapist before we beat y'all.
No doubt, man. Cleveland Mike, man. Right. Well, Dr. Phil, I do a Dr. Phil segment. I can hook it up. Anyway, Mike, tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on, man.
Yeah, you can find me on the X app, Twitter at 216_Wildboy, or you can catch me on YouTube at Best Damn Media every Wednesday. We have the Fans Edge, and then we got our guys Ryan and Q who does Buckeye Roast every morning. And then you can catch me right after the Ohio State and Oregon game on the Voice of College Football Ohio State channel for the post game. So you can't say Cleveland Mike don't stand in the paint. I'm always outside.
No doubt. Hey, by the way, one of my favorite ops on Twitter, very funny, even if he is rooting for that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. Man, hey, we got to get you back, man. I appreciate you coming on such short notice, too.
Yeah, thank you.
Till next
Mike,
time,
appreciate that.
I'm the worst at cutting people off.
What is up with you tonight, man?
Garrison, same to you, man. Where can
tell us where you're from?
No, man, you guys can find me on X at Buckeye_Gaddy. That's Daddy with a G. On YouTube, you can find me on the Scarlet and Blue Show, where I'm with my co-host Bryce Sack, who's the Michigan portion of the show. Actually, he'll be on with TJ Ronan here soon on the Voice of College Football for Michigan, so you can catch him there. And then you can also follow me on the Voice of College Football and Ohio State Primetime with my co-host Ryan Stano, where we are live on Mondays and Thursdays for our call-in show. There's a few guys in here that I know they've called in. I had a hard day one day. I had a hard day with the Michigan game with you guys in there. Calling Michigan fans, it's all love.
Hey, Garrison, have you changed your X handle to Jordan Baker yet?
No.
Hey, Garrison, man, we appreciate you coming on short notice for you too, man. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Appreciate you, Garrison.
Phil, Kinetic Maniac, man. Good seeing y'all.
Go
Same
Blue.
to you, champ. Have a good one.
Man.
Yeah. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the show has just stepped up a notch. Two of the most hated people on all of your social medias. Fans of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, because next we're talking Notre Dame, Georgia, Ryan Fravel, Week 0 podcast, and Dallas fan in DC, aka Mike. You guys might know him on your social medias as well. Gentlemen, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Good.
Winning. We're in the playoffs. It's nice.
Hey,
for now.
There you go. We got all the ops up here tonight. I know the chat is going crazy.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what's happening? They melting right now in the chat. Gentlemen, listen, your season got off to a bit of a good start. You went down to College Station, whatever it's called, Park, whatever they call it down there.
Yeah. College Station.
Handle business against Texas A&M.
Yeah,
that
the
was a
SEC.
quality win, right?
Yeah.
SEC win, quality SEC win. Then you come back home a couple games later, you drop one to NIU. Looks like the sky is crashing. Everybody is pointing and laughing at Notre Dame again. But since that time, dominant performance after dominant performance. You've stacked up some dominant performance. I've said right here live on this channel that Notre Dame, of all the playoff teams, reminds me most of last year's Michigan's team because they can run the ball and they play great defense. And Riley Leonard has gotten better. He is no JJ McCarthy, especially on third down, but he's gotten better.
We don't need third down.
That's fair. What say you to that, gentlemen?
That's the spin on it. We ain't been needing third down.
Dallas, come on, man. Don't we know y'all getting cooked on Wednesday. Just don't like your Cowboys got cooked yesterday.
Y'all needed them pretty badly against Northern Illinois.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
We lost to Northern Illinois. We still ahead of you.
No, you're right. You lost the Burger King Tech. You lost the Burger King Tech. All right, so look,
watch your mouth.
Yeah, let's get to the game. Let's get to the game.
A team that beat Michigan, right?
Yeah.
It was five teams. 5 teams beat Michigan. 5 teams beat Michigan this year.
Yeah. That's not a flex this year. Trust me. But anyway, look, gentlemen. Go ahead, man.
No. Go ahead, man.
Yeah,
I've been doing a lot
listen,
of talking.
Yeah. So listen, we know why we got you guys here. Like Man said, I mean, regardless of the fact you guys been cooking, I give you that. Dominant win over Indiana. They got 2 garbage touchdowns, made the score look closer than what it was, but that was total domination by Notre Dame. It was never a game. Now, you're going up against Georgia, right? We know Kirby Smart. They going with a backup quarterback. Gunnar Stockton. Talk to me, gentlemen. How y'all feeling? Your confidence level and how you expect this game to play out?
Well, I feel like we about to dominate again.
Okay. How though? Break it down for me, champ.
It's football 1-on-1. Now, I don't know Gunnar Stockton. You don't know Gunnar Stockton. There's no film on Gunnar Stockton. There's one of the top defenses in college football, and you're gonna stick a Gunnar Stockton in a playoff game, and that's supposed to challenge Al Golden, an NFL level caliber coach. Come on, man. This is not ESPN.
Yeah, but here's the thing you're forgetting. Your coach has got to remember how to count to 11 in order to win this game.
Yeah, but he's not the only coach. This is 2024. Wrong year.
Right. So Notre Dame. So you're saying that? So how you expecting this? You think that y'all gonna shut them down? Like what are you expecting? Y'all gonna dominate the line of scrimmage? Like I just want you to break it down a little bit for me, champ. Not just y'all gonna win.
I expected them to try to play a small ball because the quarterback can't throw.
Okay.
Without turning it over.
Okay. All right.
They can't stop our run. They're not built. They're not going to stop us from running.
Okay.
You've seen every game Georgia's played with a running quarterback. They put up numbers. ESPN and CBS and everybody else's. Their first thing when they lost the quarterback was to say, "Oh, it's going to be a rock fight. Look at the defense." That's a spin job.
No doubt.
What is Notre Dame's margin to win? And what is our points per game? You're not holding us to no 20 or 19 or whatever they did. All these scores I've been looking at, 21, 19, 17. This is not that game no more with Mike Denbrock.
All right.
Brian Kelly and Tommy Reese are gone. Those games are gone for you.
But they've been gone, and you've been held to 19 or 20 since then.
Held to 19?
Yeah.
How many times?
All right. I don't know. I didn't check that. So let me ask you this. So You think Leonard? What's your running back's name? Number 4. He's a beast, man.
That's
Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah Love. So you expected him to
And we got
eat
2.
on Wednesday?
We got 2.
All right. Who's the second one?
Jadarian
Price.
Who put that 47 on Texas A&M.
All right. So,
Okay,
so
but
y'all got a
USC beat
two-headed
Texas
monster.
A&M now. Come on, man. That's
We
not
got
a win
home
to
run
brag
hitters.
about.
No. That was a good win because it was on the road and it was early. I give him that. All right. So what's your score? What's your final score prediction, Dallas, on this Georgia Notre Dame game?
I'd look at it easy 31. I give them 17 because I don't see them scoring.
Dang. Okay. All right. Ryan.
Now they can score with some help because we are going to SEC country. You know they're gonna have some home cooking.
Yeah, y'all playing in the Sugar Bowl,
we playing
right?
in the Hornets' Nest.
New Orleans. Y'all playing in New Orleans, yeah.
We playing in the SEC country, and this is
That's
Georgia.
definite. Yeah,
so it's gonna be
you're
some
right.
home cooking.
Okay, so but those are the things you need to consider, champ, when we talk about breaking down games, right? If it's a tight game, ends up being a tight game.
No. I'm not saying it's a tight game. I'm saying it's going to be some home cooking to keep our score down.
I mean, well,
but
Northern Illinois held y'all to 14 points. Why can't Georgia do better than that?
Because that's not the same team. Everybody keep going to week 2 to look for this liquid courage.
And to be fair, UMass ran for over 250 yards against Georgia. So
yeah, they did.
We were to talk about how teams performed against.
I guess they can get NIU to help them.
Okay, but did Georgia have a worse loss than NIU?
No. They lost to Ole Miss and they lost to Bama.
Which team had the better? Which
Bama
team had
just
the
got
best?
baptized by Oklahoma.
No, but which of the two teams? Which team had the best wins? Okay, so if Notre Dame had the worst loss, which one had the best win this year?
Georgia. They went into Texas and beat them when they was the ranked number 1 team. Texas hasn't lost since, and then lost to them again in the SEC championship.
Texas
so Georgia had the better win, had a win better than any win Notre Dame has. And Notre Dame had a worse loss than any loss Georgia had.
We dealt what we had to play.
If you want that schedule, join a conference.
We got to join a conference. We've been playing 18,
then don't complain about the schedule.
Everybody.
Join the Big Ten so we can play Rutgers every week.
It's cool.
Hold on.
Indiana.
First of all, don't be disrespectful. All right, Rutgers is
listen,
a quality
we've
program.
seen you.
Y'all sent Big Ten. Y'all sent Indiana. Y'all was with y'all top squad.
No. I always said they were fraud. I've been saying that.
But they play a Big Ten
Garrison.
They play a Big Ten schedule, though.
All right. So look.
So y'all are scared you wouldn't be better than Indiana in the Big Ten? I get that.
Let's stay on course. All right. So Dallas, you got Notre Dame 31-17, and you said it might be closer because it might be some home cooking, correct?
Hey, we can't get this 40 on them. That's what the issue is.
Okay, so all right. So you got we're gonna come back to you. Ryan, my brother.
We definitely coming back to you, bro.
Yeah, same thing I asked Dallas, man. One, how you feeling? How you feeling about this game against Georgia? Is this an easy win for you? Do you think it could go either way? Do you think Notre Dame is going to lose? And if y'all do win, how you expecting you guys to beat Georgia?
So me and Phil talked about this on the Week 0 podcast. I think this game could go either way. This is, to me, out of all 4 of the quarterfinal games, is the most pick'em game of them all, even over Ohio State, Oregon, because I think Notre Dame and Georgia, they run the same style offense. Their weaknesses are basically the same. Their strengths are basically the same. They mirror each other on both sides of the ball. And I don't think it's going to be an easy win. I think it's going to be a rock fight. It's going to be an old school Big Ten, SEC type 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Bring your lunch pail, strap your shoes up, because it's going to be 4 quarters of smash mouth football. And whoever comes out on top, whoever can win the line of scrimmage, makes the least amount of mistakes, wins this game.
All right. And so So again, like I said, we got Georgia's playing with a backup quarterback, right?
Mhm.
We saw a little bit of him against Texas. He looked good early, then it looked like Texas started to figure him out, but it was too late. But Georgia's
Exactly.
had almost a month to prepare for you guys, right? So that
Month.
that that matters. They needed that rest. So you think Gunnar Stockton is gonna be a factor in this game, or you think y'all gonna be able to take him out? As far as
I
just shut him down.
I don't. I think we're going to see a completely different Georgia offense than what we've seen because with Carson Beck, it was pass, 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 pass. With Gunnar Stockton, we saw what happened the minute that Kirby allowed him to cook or try to cook in that Texas game through a pick that if the DB knew how to run a pick six back, would have been a touchdown and would have cost them that game. I think Kirby is smart enough to understand that with the month to prepare against this defense, if you turn the ball over in a game like this, it could cost you. And I don't think he's going to put his quarterback in that position. I think it's going to be a run-centric offense. You're going to see a lot of quarterback runs, quarterback sneaks, quarterback powers, read options with ETN. That's where I think this. I think it's going to be a one-dimensional Georgia offense. They're going to try to, their passing game is going to be screens, tunnel screens, quick outs, and I think that's kind of the same thing Notre Dame's going to do. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. And if they had Carson Beck, I still don't know. I mean, I think their offense would be better, at least down the field. But, I mean, their receiver core leads the nation in drops. So, I mean, especially against our DBs, I don't know if they're going to really have any sort of passing game in this game.
One dimensional.
Yeah. So with that being said, Ryan, what's your score prediction on this game?
So I had 21-17. So me and Dallas fan are kind of the same thing. I think they get 17 points. I think Notre Dame. I think we get a turnover or two, which some point in the game we get short field and we take advantage, and that's the difference in the game.
All right.
Really quick, guys, because I do think we got off to it was so hostile first and foremost. We didn't really get the ash on. But I will say this. And I got some bets going on. I don't know if we bet on this game necessarily. I got to keep up with those in the chat, by the way. But I did pick you guys to beat Georgia in this game. In fact, I'll go this far. I got Notre Dame. I had Notre Dame making it to the national championship game. That may change, but I do have them beating Georgia because I think Penn State's going to make short work of Boise State, and it'll be Penn State, Notre Dame in that semifinal, and then we'll see what happens. But we'll get there when we get there. Either way, let me say this. Even with the starting quarterback, whose name is slipping my mind now.
Gunnar Stockton.
Look at you, just Carson Beck.
Carson Beck, yeah.
Carson Beck. Even with Carson Beck, I had Notre Dame winning this game, and I said it because I think Notre Dame runs the ball super effectively. They got explosive running backs. It's not just about being able to run the ball effectively. They got somebody that can go 98 yards. He just did that last week, right? And then they got another running back who's as explosive. So I like their running game. And you have to account for the quarterback and his feet, and he can run it too. And now he's completing passes down the field, the second half of the season, especially. So I had them winning this game, even with Carson Beck. That said, I don't believe it's a 31-17 type win. I do believe that Georgia's defense is elite. When they want to be, when they show up. We saw that in Texas game number 1. If they come out and punch you in the face, in the mouth, then they're effective and they are elite and they have athletes all over the field. That said, I think the game is more low scoring. I think Notre Dame wins a game more 24-10 or 21-10 than 31. Scoring 31 or above that, anything like that. Maybe even 24-17, right? But
We're in
the
a dome.
coach, that's fair, and which will help people like Jeremiah Love, but it
And
also
Riley
helps
Leonard.
in Riley Leonard. It also helps out that the speed on that defense, though. Georgia has speed on that defense. They're going to fly, especially sideline to sideline. But we'll get there. We'll get there in a sec. Coaches is the key here. Kirby Smart has to clearly gets a check mark in this category. No matter how much you love Notre Dame, no matter how much you think Marcus Freeman is going to be a great coach, he is not Kirby Smart yet, right? Kirby Smart in terms of the X's and O's, in terms of his experience in games like this, we have to give him a nod. That's why I think they're still dangerous. What say you to that? Marcus Freeman cannot have a situation like he had against the other state where you guys probably should have won that game. You should have won that game. He made a couple big mistakes, and it's not just putting 10 people on the field back-to-back plays, by the way, but also, like I pointed out when me and Mike, we had these conversations in the beginning of that drive. The game-winning drive ended up for Ohio State. Second down, for Notre Dame. Notre Dame had the ball. All you have to do is make Ohio State burn a timeout. It's second down. You run the ball. They have to use that final timeout. He elected to throw a screen or whatever that was that damn near was intercepted. That is a coaching mistake. And even if he didn't call the play, he's the head coach. He hears that play go through his headset just like everybody else. He is the ultimate veto power. He can't let that happen. If that sort of thing happens, you're going to lose this game. What say both of you to the coaching of both of these teams and those types of mistakes?
So to be fair to Freeman on that play, I hated the play call because I was at the game live. But if you go back and watch that play, if Hartman's able to get that over the outstretched arms of JTT,
we know the if. Right?
That's probably going for a touchdown.
I get it. I get it. But
So,
if you play it's football, dog. And sometimes you outsmart yourself, and that's exactly what he did. Not him. He didn't make the play call. I'm giving you that. But again, it went through his headset. He heard it. He could have said, "Hell no, run a power left or whatever it is." Right?
Yeah. Especially because Estime had just had 2 straight 10+ yard runs.
Exactly.
Estime was after that. The second one, he's doing this to Freeman, saying, "Just keep feeding me." And then Freeman's like, "No, I'm going to take you out. Put true freshman Jeremiah Love in there for a screen." And that's all history. So I agree with you. If you do that against Kirby, I mean, he's way better than Ryan Day as a coach. He's going to make you pay for that. But I think that you need to see the same game plan that Notre Dame had against A&M. Because to me, this game feels a lot like the A&M game. The same questions that people have about Notre Dame going into the A&M game as what they have against Georgia. Can Notre Dame's offensive line hold up against an elite SEC D line and pass rush, right? Can Riley Leonard and Notre Dame's offense run the ball effectively against an elite defense? Can Notre Dame's defense, can they step up when they need to against, Georgia's offense?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same. It's not saying that Texas A&M is Georgia. Georgia's a way better team than A&M. But the storylines and the question marks surrounding the game remind me of what people were saying before that game. I think you got to have the same game plan you had against A&M to beat Georgia, and that includes getting a few turnovers. Don't turn the ball over. Complete third downs when you need to in crucial situations, and score when you get in the red zone.
Do you really think Georgia and A&M are a comparable team, though?
I mean, Nick
the
Skirton
defensive line, yeah.
The defensive line,
NFL
yeah. Nick Skirton was widely considered the best edge rusher in the nation.
So I'm just saying, I don't think Georgia loses to USC. So,
I mean, the Texas A&M didn't have half the roster against USC.
Right, you talking about
they didn't have half the roster in the season either.
Yeah, look.
At least half of them didn't show up.
Let me. All right. Yeah. So gentlemen, let me ask you guys this: how do you feel if the game has to come down to Riley Leonard's arm? Do you feel that he could win the game? He needs 2 drives. back to back. He needs to go the length of the field. Are you confident in his arm?
Yeah, I'm confident in his arm, but everybody's looking for him to be his long game. He's accurate as hell now. Unlike y'all looking at Riley Leonard from Texas A&M NIU, but y'all not looking at him from the last 5 games. He's been playing 90 PFF grade. He's accurate. So he can put the ball where it needs to go. The issue is that everybody's looking at yardage. Everybody's like, well, he has to pass for 300. But that's a hypothetical that's been thrown out there. That's not going to happen because of our defense.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be in that situation.
Well, Dallas, let's not say that. Any team
Gunnar Stockton is not playing Notre Dame defense and putting us down 14 points. It's not happening.
No. Well, but Dallas, hold on. I get it. Yeah, I get it. It's your team. You love your team, and I respect that. But let's take off the blinders. It could be 14
not taking off the blinders. You don't know who Gunnar Stockton can play. He's played high school football and a few plays. That's it.
Hey, bro, so let's say your first possession, Riley Leonard drops back, fumble, Georgia picks it up,
touchdown,
Cooper scores 7-zip. Y'all come back, 3 and out. Georgia running back, boom, 40-yard, 50-yard run, 14-zip, just like that. We like, yo, what's going on? I'm not saying that's gonna happen, and even if this is not the game, Dallas. Let's say you do win this game. Eventually, whether it be against Penn State or Boise, whether it be in the Natty, there's gonna come a point. There's gonna come a point. Where in the game.
That's been a national song. That's been a national song of this hypothetical game. We play our game, and you have to put us in that position. That's never happened.
So no team in the playoffs could put you in that position, Dallas.
Nobody.
So
there's nobody that can put us in that position because of our defense.
Okay. All right, hold on, Dallas. Hold on. Go ahead. Ryan. So same question. If it came down to his arm, do you feel confidence in Riley Leonard's arm that he could win the game if he has to drive?
No. I'm one of the few Notre Dame fans that I've been a Riley Leonard detractor. Not because he's a quarterback, ride or die for my team, but he's not what I expected him to be when he first came over with Mike Denbrock as his OC. But, and I brought this up in my space that I did last night. I had the same question marks that a lot of people had about this Notre Dame offense with Michigan last year. Because I told Phil all the time last year, if you just stop the run, you could beat Michigan. But the thing is,
exactly,
you can say that.
You can say that.
It's easy to say that.
Everybody said that.
Okay. Let me hold on. We got to stop. We got to chop this fable really fast, really quick, because even if what you're not mentioning is that JJ McCarthy was the best quarterback in college football a season ago on third down, especially on 3rd and long. So
we don't need third down.
No, bro, you're not listening now. You're not listening now.
Nobody stopped Michigan's run game.
Nobody stopped it in the sense of, they were persistent and they were still going to run the ball. Absolutely. What I'm saying though is it wasn't like every game we were out there bussing, or even averaging 5 yards a carry. Hell, in the game against Alabama in the Rose Bowl, I think we averaged like 4 yards a carry, maybe. Right,
but y'all were in a lot of 3rd and shorts in that game. I think there were maybe
we were also in some 3rd and longs that we converted.
But your quarterback could run.
That's the point.
Yeah, but he didn't run. That's
one of the points. But he also was the best quarterback on 3rd down. That's the important part because there will be 3rd down. This is the playoffs, bro. This isn't. For everything that you're saying about how dominant that you feel like Notre Dame is, and by the way, I have been singing this song. Now you got me on a side where I have to play devil's advocate here. For all that you're saying, it's not necessarily hypothetical. It's only hypothetical because the teams haven't played the game yet. But in the playoffs, and we talk about this all the time, the competition is better. You're now playing a team that's been there before, a team whose defense is also elite. And I think it would be naive of you to believe that you're just going to run the ball down Georgia's throat, however straight many times, and score the football effectively that way, and then not expect them to do the same to you and for your defense, which may be playing a little better, but also isn't playing the competition that Georgia played. No matter what you have to say about that, the facts are the facts. And think that you're not going to bend a little either. I just think it's not realistic for either of these teams to think, we just
the
gonna run it.
realistic part
and
of
we're gonna
Gunnar
stop them from
Stockton
running
is
it.
the X factor of all of that. He's not doing that to us.
But we're not
I
talking
don't
about
think
Gunnar
we're
Stockton.
gonna-
We're talking
I
about
don't
Riley
think we're
Leonard
gonna
versus
run-
Georgia's defense.
I don't
talking
think
about
we're going to
that.
run down. I don't think
Yeah,
we're
go
going to
ahead.
run
Is
down
not
Georgia's
getting
throat.
stopped.
I'm just saying,
If it's an
nobody-
open run, he
Notre
doesn't
Dame
have
has
to run
played-
through nobody.
Notre Dame has played 13 games. We played against some good defenses.
Mm-hmm.
You can say all you want about
Name
A&M.
them.
A&M,
Name 'em.
A&M has a
And
great
to 3M's
You
point
played. You
with the whole
played.
JJ
You
third
played
down
Texas
efficiency
A&M's
thing.
defense.
And we
That's
played,
it.
We're not talking about JJ.
Indiana, hold on.
JJ in the
Indiana-
NFL.
No. That's
Indiana
not.
had the
Stop
number one
interrupting. Here's the thing.
organization.
When the draft was coming up and all the scouts from the pro teams were talking about what made JJ so good, they brought up the fact that third down and more than 4 is one of the most important and hardest things that for a quarterback to learn and to be good at. And that JJ was the best in college football last year at it, and one of the best even when you looked at his numbers compared to NFL quarterbacks. That was one of the that is one of the stats that scouting departments look at as one of the most telling signs of whether a quarterback is going to be good and is a championship caliber quarterback. So when 3M brings that up and talking about Riley Leonard, can you depend on him to do that? It does matter, because if you want to win a championship, that's one of the most important stats you can have as a quarterback.
Yeah, that stat is a stat with him is different because Riley Leonard had 2 seasons. Riley Leonard didn't come out the gate playing the way he's playing now.
JJ only had 2 seasons.
No, I'm not I'm talking about 2 seasons within the same season. The Riley Leonard that started the season is not the Riley Leonard that you're going to play this week. The last 5 games, he's been connecting on third down.
All right. Real quick.
You're looking at an annual. You're trying to use the whole season against him, and the issue is that
we're not trying to use the whole stat. We're not trying to do that.
His game
we have questions
has gained
from the
traction
chat.
on third down.
We get it. We got some questions from the chat. Our guy, the Dom, as thoughts on rested teams versus ones that played last week. Who has the advantage? What would be? And let's start. We'll circle this way to the Notre Dame guys. We're going to start with Maniac. Who do you think has the advantage? Rested teams or the teams that played?
Well, it varies who's the team. I think someone like Georgia, this rest was a huge advantage for them because they've been battling a lot of injuries the whole season, and even Kirby Smart mentioned it, right? That listen, the good thing about this, they're gonna get a good rest. Now again, does that mean they win the game? No, that doesn't really mean that. But I think for them, it's a physical and a mental advantage. I mean, Notre Dame is coming off a big win, so they riding high, and America, for the most part, is picking Notre Dame. So this is foreign territory for Notre Dame in big games. And I'm not trying to be funny, right? Because y'all normally lose these games. We've seen it every time y'all made the playoffs. So
that's Brian Kelly.
All right. Okay.
Y'all can't turn the page. Y'all got to give Freeman his resume and stop going back to Brian Kelly.
Someone got to give Freeman an abacus.
So listen, all right. So hold on. Let me finish the question, Dallas. So I just think that it varies, man. It really does. So I don't think it's advantage for all the teams or a disadvantage. So I mean, it's a great question, Dom, but I don't think is a clear-cut answer to this one.
Okay. Same question, Kinetic.
I agree. There's not a clear-cut answer. I think it depends on the team in the sense that if you're a team that is real banged up coming into the playoffs, then that bye week is vital. But if you're a team that is relatively healthy, then and you played against a team that actually like pushed you and you had to like step up and play well to get by them, then you got the advantage. But outside of that, I think the advantage lies with the ones that get the bye week.
No doubt. Ryan?
I don't think there's really advantage from either side here. I mean, you get 11 days off in between each game. That's more than enough rest. I mean, especially like most of these teams that played in the first round got damn near a month off to begin with. I mean, Notre Dame at least did because we'd have to play the conference title. So, like, I just don't think it really has either way. Maybe if you want to say that if a team's really banged up, yeah. But I don't think it really gives any either team advantages, especially with how much time passes between each game.
All right. And Dallas fan, same question. Does the break help the team that gets the bye, or playing help the team that had to play a first round game?
I mean, I will go with what everybody's saying. It varies. It depends on like the situation of the team. But like again, we've been off 11 days and we didn't play. This team is pretty much ready. I mean, we lost Riley Mills, but I mean that's it. But other than that, actually, when we got two people back doing that race, we got Charles Jackasaw back, and we probably got KVA back. So we gained two players for one.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let me ask this: if there's a spot that Georgia can exploit on your defense, I'm just asking a question. I'm not asking this as Notre Dame fans, just as football fans. What is it they can exploit on that Notre Dame defense, or you have no weaknesses?
I'll let Dallas fan go ahead first.
It would have to be. I mean, because we lost Riley Mills, I guess the synchronizing of the D line, because we're going to be playing. I don't know what Al Gold is going to do with the D line, because I know it's going to be something different. I think we're going to be putting a lot of pressure out of zone blitzes. I think that's really how we're coming after Gunnar Stockton is zone blitzes. We're just going to be coming from everywhere and make him have to think. And then if they just run the ball, we just got to chop the run down. That's it.
So I think if Georgia's
the weakness is either I think D-line pressure, like as far as if for passing, and that like we might not have the pass rush that we could have with Mills. That's where I see the weakness is.
Okay.
But Bryant Young might be coming off that young boy can play. They about to find out.
Right.
All right.
Hey, the chat is on one tonight, bro. I get
Ryan Willingham.
Are they gonna be mad at next week?
I think
be in the chat next week.
I think especially with, like you said, losing Riley Mills, who is kind of like that. Him and Howard Cross are like that tag team that just kind of stuff the run, get pressure, they plug holes, allow our young linebackers to get pressure and to create holes to get tackles for loss. So that's going to be missed. We're starting a guy, Gabriel Rubio, has only played half the games that Riley Mills has played. He's still a solid player, just doesn't have the experience. He's been a rotation guy all year, first career start, and he's going up against an all SEC guard and Rutledge. It's going to be an NFL player next year. So I think if there's one weakness, and if you're Kirby Smart and you're looking like, where can I take advantage of Notre Dame's defense? It's not through the air, because I don't think they don't have the receivers to do it. And I think that it's going to be running that inside zone to the left side where Riley Mills usually lines up through between the guards.
And what I think is going to happen, I think they're going to bring in some of these linebackers to like sew that hole up. They're going to give support to that area because they're not going to be scared of the pass.
I think you're going to see Notre Dame stack the box, play press. Yeah. That's what they did. That's the defense they run anyway. They play a lot of man, bring a lot of man blitzes, and disguise it. So I think that's what they're going to have their linebackers up at the line of scrimmage, bring Watts and Schuler down, and just play the run. Make Georgia prove that they can beat you over the top.
Yeah.
I think
No, I
we
agree.
have played the defense is going to play more like eventually get to the point we're going to play them like the military academy.
Yeah.
Because that's really what their offense is going to boil down to.
I mean, we've played better offenses than Georgia. I mean,
Yeah.
Louisville's receiver core is way better. USC's receiver core is way better. So the only thing that scares me on Georgia's offense is Travis Etienne, and he's had basically a month to get healthy. I don't know if we've seen an actual healthy Travis Etienne all year. So we'll see if he's an X factor in that game.
So
No, we're gonna be on probably immediately following the game. We're not watching no more Michigan games live.
Yeah.
But how much? But seriously, how much run? If Travis is somewhat is healthy, who's been a running back that could run on us to really hurt us in a football game?
Dallas. No one can run on your Kansas
No,
City Chiefs can't even
I'm
beat
asking the
y'all.
question. Who's it been? They keep coming up with these hypotheticals.
Yeah.
No, it's no hypothetical.
Travis is not his brother. Because they keep talking about him, ETN, like he's the dude that's in the NFL. He's the dude from FSU.
All right, Dallas, listen, that doesn't take away from him not being a good player. We're just speaking. He's an elite running back in college. Does he become a pro? We don't know. What we're saying is this. Georgia, listen.
What's
Georgia's
his stats right now?
Listen.
What's his big game?
Listen, I don't know. I'm just telling you what it is.
You saying he's a big time star? We should know something about him.
You said which game? Look at the Texas game.
He's been hurt.
He's been hurt. Then why is he
Dallas, hold on.
Is he a factor? He's trash.
All right, listen. So Dallas, listen. Hold on. Georgia's no stranger to being in physical games. So playing Notre Dame is going to be no different. Y'all not going to show Georgia something they never seen, and vice versa. What we telling you is this. I love your confidence level, but you a little too
Gunnar
cocky.
Stockton has never played 4 quarters of football.
See, I wish I could be as confident as Dallas fan over here.
All right, so your kicking game, Ryan. Y'all kicker. Y'all confident.
He's not injured no more.
Y'all kicker.
He's not injured no more.
All right, so y'all got a good.
Mitch Jeter.
He's injured.
He's not injured no more.
He's good.
He's been. I don't know. Like he's been injured all year.
No, he ain't injured now. That's what
I mean.
You saw him kicking Indiana game.
I know.
And they got hyped because he's back.
If you look at the kick, the 49-yarder he made, he barely got that over the upright.
We're in a dome.
All right, listen. We do have to
stop. We can't go play Georgia afraid and with no confidence.
I'm not afraid. I just don't think we're gonna beat the shit out of Georgia. Like I don't.
It's not
exactly because you're a millennial.
No,
you're a millennial Notre Dame fan. You haven't been around kicking nobody ass.
Hey, I gotta ask Ryan one question before we end.
Yeah.
The very first time I ever met Ryan, I was in one of the spaces he was in, and he was having an existential crisis over the state of the Notre Dame wide receiver room. So can we get an update, Ryan?
So, I mean, next year it should be improved. We got Malachi Fields in the portal, Will Pauling from Wisconsin. Got Cam Williams will probably be an X factor next year with Micah Gilbert. 2 young guys we got. But like for this game, you're looking at Jordan Faison as like the guy in the receiver room. He hasn't really been healthy all year. He was his healthiest against Indiana. Had his first 100-yard game since last season. He's the guy that I think is the X factor in the receiver room for this game. But still not to. But to be honest with you, it's not really fair to judge the receivers when you have Riley Leonard as your quarterback. You know what I mean? like it's not really fair to those kids.
I just remember you were like, we have no receivers now. We have no receivers coming in. You're like, I just want a receiver. Just give me a receiver.
Well, no, because I want a 5-star receiver. Like
you got a 5-star receiver.
Yeah, I know, but like
Cam
Williams was, but he's not. He wasn't when he finished, so it doesn't count. All right,
it does count.
He said it doesn't count.
The talent didn't change. I don't care what 247 put out there.
Does Michigan have a
just like CJ Carr came in 5-star. Cam Williams came in 5-star. Every time we got a 5-star, they became a 4-star.
They drop. Yeah, they drop them. Yeah.
So I don't know about the talent is there.
Dallas, hold
definitely.
on.
Let
Dallas,
it more the 3-star out here shutting everybody down.
So Dallas, I want. So you saying it right here tonight? Notre Dame is going to win the national championship.
We got a good chance. I wouldn't sign off on winning the national championship, but I think we're good enough for the teams out there because of the defense.
Who do you think you lose to? Who do you think you lose to?
Oregon.
Okay, so you think you get to the Natty? You think you're going to beat Georgia?
If we get to the next round, we can beat both teams.
Penn State or Boise State.
Penn State ain't beat no Notre Dame. Y'all know they can't beat Notre Dame.
I'm just trying to understand where you think you. So what if Oregon doesn't make it? If you make it to the Natty and it's Ohio State, Arizona,
I'm not scared of Ohio State
or Texas.
No. I'm not. Let me tell y'all something with Ohio State. Y'all was talking about the Ohio State from last year. Game last year. The real reason we lost to Ohio State had nothing to do with the defense, had nothing to do on the field. It had to do with we didn't have an offensive coordinator. We didn't have a real offense. Right now, we have Mike Denrock. And everybody's discounting Mike Denrock to get into a rock fight. Y'all done lost y'all damn mind. Mike Denrock didn't get paid to get in a rock fight.
I agree 1,000%.
Jaden
Daniels at LSU don't run offenses to put up 20 points.
I know, but Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors are walking through that door before we play Georgia.
We don't need them. We don't play their game.
No doubt. Listen, hold on, because we gotta pay bills and stuff.
Georgia is the one that's going to struggle with scoring.
Oh, hold on, bro.
No, I agree. So look, we do have to. Y'all gave y'all.
Everybody's scared of the brand.
No. It's a winnable game. Listen, it's a win. I'm not saying y'all can't win. I'm just saying.
You never seen it. You saying just like everybody. You never seen it. You lived through the Brian Kelly era in big games.
Right. Okay, so you know what? Wednesday at 8, whatever o'clock that game is, we're going to see what it is. Dallas, if y'all win, I'll be right here giving you your flowers. If you lose, you better not give
no damn flowers, man. We Notre Dame. We'll never get flowers. This is what millennial fans don't understand. Notre Dame wins.
Look, you got flowers right there. Next to your name, you got flowers. You got flowers next to your name.
Anybody love us in 88?
One thing I want to say really quick. We legit have never seen Notre Dame beat Georgia.
You haven't.
0-3. They're 0-3 all time. Nobody has ever seen Notre
Dame. Dude, what Georgia team we played? Brian Kelly.
2017.
Brian Kelly. The only time Georgia scheduled Notre Dame was during Brian Kelly's era. The last time we played him was in a Sugar Bowl with Herschel Dan Walker.
I have never seen one fan base feud with each other this hard.
Football since 1887, and Georgia played us 3 games. And they waited to the Brian Kelly era to schedule us.
Wait.
Beefing with everybody, even his own fan base.
Still remains, though, that you have
it's not my own fan base. It's these weak ass millennial fans.
Hey, first of all, don't do the millennials.
Who haven't won?
Don't do the millennials like that.
Listen, Dallas, you better show up. You better show up if y'all lose.
Yeah. All right. So look, here's the thing.
Here for 2 years. Ohio State said I was going somewhere.
This is the final thing I'll say.
Hold on, yo. Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Hold on, Ryan. Hold on. We're gonna let you say your final piece. Both. Let Madman finish here.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm getting to. Is their final piece. Dallas, tell the people where they can find you.
Oh, they know to find me. I ain't that ain't. We don't need that.
You know it. You better believe it. All right. Same question to you, sir. Where can they find you? What you got going on?
So you can find me over at Week 0 Productions on YouTube. We're going to be going live Sunday, breaking down all the quarterfinal matchups and previewing the semifinals. Also, you can find me on X at Fravel_Ryan. I'm on there. I talk ball all the time. My ego has came down a lot, as you can tell. I've never seen a chat flip the script so much on how they feel about me. Appreciate it.
You just stop being weird. Everyone loves you.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I do think
Notre Dame. I don't know where to find them. Hey,
I do think
we're not doing this.
I do think Notre Dame. I do think Notre Dame wins. I do think that this game and the game you guys talked about earlier tonight between Ohio State and Oregon, those are the real semifinal games who will decide who meets up in the Natty. So that's how I feel about it.
No doubt, man. Hey, I appreciate both of y'all for coming on. I
Hey,
contacted
hold
both
up,
of you.
time out. Where y'all scores at?
Oh yeah. Okay. So my score, I gave my score prediction. I think the score is gonna be 24. I'm going 24-13. Notre Dame.
Yeah. So look, man, it's gonna be a fist fight. I think it's gonna be probably the most physical game of the quarterfinals. This is gonna be a lot of hitting in this game. This is gonna be an old school 80s, 90s kind of game, kind of like what Ryan was saying. It's hard to go against Kirby. I gotta see it. I gotta see Notre Dame win before I could say anything. So I'm gonna go 20-17 Georgia.
No doubt.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same thing with Maniac. I think it's going to be a little bit higher score, but I think it's going to be 28-24 Georgia. I think that Gunnar Stockton's going to surprise people, and I just don't have faith in Riley Leonard.
No doubt. Hey,
Gunnar out here got a whole commodity of people. He got half a quarter of football in his life, and they got him out here scoring on Notre Dame. CJ Stroud couldn't even score on Notre Dame.
If Gunnar Stockton was on Notre Dame's roster, he'd be the starter this year.
CJ Stroud could not score on Notre Dame. Neither could
I hate to do it. I hate to do it, but NIU scored on Notre Dame.
So, yeah. All right, so look, here's the thing. I appreciate both of y'all for coming on, man. Short notice for both of you brothers. We got after the game, y'all show up, win, lose, or draw. Ryan, are you gonna be at this game?
I was thinking about it, but I figured might as well save my money if we
for the
win
Natty.
this game.
For the Natty.
That's right.
All right, you better believe it. Shout out to Dallas fans. Shout out to Ryan. It was a riot.
Why
bro,
the show?
I don't think I've laughed that hard. Bro, the chat was on a beam. Shout out to Marmar. Shout out to Antoine. Moose.
Shout out to everybody. Moose. The chat was on fire.
Johnny Olden Jr. was in the chat. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat. Burks.
Yeah. I just think, look, I think, Notre Dame to me is a legit team. Don't get me wrong. I like them. They're a good team. No one could deny that. But we got to see it, right? We know Georgia, they pretty much been the bully on the block for the last 5-6 years. 2 natties, 3 natty appearances. So, we haven't seen Notre Dame win these big games. So you gotta, to me, I gotta go Georgia. But let me see if this is a year to get Georgia. This is it for Notre Dame, man. Because I think if they don't win this, they probably ain't gonna be a team like Georgia in a long time.
No doubt, man. Hey, look, there are 2 other playoff games. I wanted to do a whole thing. I had banners and all of that. We've been going for so long. Let's just give our score predictions. All right.
All right.
The other game, Boise State versus Penn State. This one, if you are in our group chat, if you were in our group, Johnny is in the group chat. If you were in our group chat here, then you know that I have made a bet on this game. With Maniac here. I believe, right? And TJ, I believe. Or is it might be Johnny?
No. So I know Johnny took so you got 2 bets going. With me is the game. I got Boise to beat Penn State. I think with Johnny,
that's free money.
Okay. And listen, when I win that bet, send my money in quarters. I don't even want it.
Yo. All right, so yeah.
And Johnny, I think you betted Johnny about the rushing yards, 100 yards.
So I said that Ashton Genty, chat, let me know what you think about this. I said that Ashton Genty would not rush for 100 yards against Penn State. Am I wilding? Let me know. That said, I think Penn State mops the floor with Boise State. I'm going 30-3 Penn State.
Damn. Yeah, look, real quick. Look, Boise, Penn State, the beauty, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow night, 7:30. Listen, the last time Boise played a big game in Arizona in the Fiesta Bowl, they upset it Oklahoma. I
Mhm.
think history repeats itself. I think we see a classic and Boise gets it done. I'm going to go 27-23 Boise.
Yeah, I think Boise's more legit than 3M wants to admit. I think Boise's going to win 24-20, and I think Genty breaks the record in this game.
You got Boise winning too.
Yeah.
All right. That's 2 for Boise, your boy.
I think Genty's going to stuff James Franklin in the locker.
Here's the thing. This is what people fail to realize. Yes, James Franklin is a laughing stock. Abso-freaking-lutely. The other thing though is James Franklin doesn't lose games. James Franklin is not supposed to lose.
Well, he's supposed to lose this one.
He loses to Ohio State. He loses to teams ranked higher than him that he's not supposed to beat. He don't lose to teams like Boise State. But we shall see. Moose says 38-17. Penn State over Boise State. That's a pretty decent score.
I'm just surprised that you're putting money on James Franklin again after what he did to you in the first round.
Yeah. Well, not the first.
Not the first round in the conference championship.
Right. It wasn't an easy decision, but that one I feel like that's my fault, right? Like I knew better than to bet against him in a big game against a team that was favored to beat him. He never overcomes anything. He just is what he is. All right.
And I just think real quick, man, before we get to the Texas game, I just also think, like I mentioned right after the Heisman, I think Boise got a chip on their shoulder. I think not Genty not winning the Heisman, it has them motivated, and they understand that O-line is going to come to play whether they run for 100 or not, but they're going to want to make a statement, man. And if Genty is going off, it might even get ugly for Penn State. So
he only needs 130, I think, to break the record.
And that's the reason I'm going with them. But listen, I could see Penn State winning by 2 scores, but I got a good feeling about Boise, so we shall see.
No doubt. Dexter, thanks for rocking with us, man. Have a good night. All right, Texas taking on Arizona State and that superstar Bo Scatterboo.
Woo.
Who y'all got in this one?
Go ahead, Kinetic.
I think this is going to be a really good game, but I think that because I do like Scatterbo, and I think that Arizona State is good, but I think that Texas has too much depth, and I think that Texas is going to pull it out at the end. If I had to put a score on it, I'd say Texas. We'll say Texas 33 and Arizona State 24.
Yeah, this is which bowl they playing in? This is the Cotton Bowl.
I think it's the Fiesta Bowl.
No. Boise is the Fiesta.
Then it's the
Sugar Bowl.
Cotton Bowl.
It's the Sugar Bowl. The Sugar Bowl.
Is it?
Yeah, is the Sugar Bowl. No. It's not the Sugar Bowl.
Sugar Bowl is Georgia.
The Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
So Ohio State, Oregon is the
Which
Rose.
bowl? Maybe.
Is it the Cotton? What was Orange Bowl? No. The Orange Bowl is later.
I don't know. Burke said he got ASU winning.
Yeah. Right. Listen. Look, I say this.
Texas, Arizona State is the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
The Chick-fil-A. Right. So it's Atlanta. So they playing in Atlanta.
The Peach Bowl. Bowl, yeah.
Yeah. So look.
I'm upset. He said, "Why you say Cotton Bowl?"
It is. They got the Cotton Bowl
is played in Texas, right?
The Cotton Bowl is the winner of Texas, Arizona State, and Oregon, Ohio State is the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, it's the semifinal. So look, man, I'm gonna go. I noticed that. Not that I noticed, I also been reading that Quinn Ewers has been playing with a bum ankle, but it's getting better. In fact, he says he's even feeling much better. So. I think this is probably one of the most unknown games coming in the next 2 days, because I think that no one's gonna give Arizona State much of a shot, man. But I think Texas pulls it out, but I think it's going to be a close one. Damn, 40 to 34, we lost. Okay, yo, good looking. I didn't expect it to even be that close, but I'm gonna go Texas. I'm gonna go Texas 24, 20.
I got Texas covering the spread. I think they are 13-point favorites, something like that. I think they cover that spread. I don't think ASU is as good as Texas. I do like Scatterbo, but I think Texas will take that away and dominate the game, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Did we all give our predictions for the other state in Oregon?
No, I did.
All right.
And then the live. I just 38, 35 Ohio State. I'm so pissed. I'm even saying that.
This would be you're right, Dom. This would be a nightmare situation here. OSU, Notre Dame national championship would be very upsetting. I will say that. And because of that, I'm picking Oregon to win this game. I got Oregon 37-31 over that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, Connecticut. Where you going with it?
I had the same score, 37-31 Oregon.
Nice. Great minds think alike. Obviously, listen, ladies and gentlemen, y'all rock with us for a long time tonight. Not only did you rock with us for a long time tonight, you had to sit through the other state fans, Notre Dame fans, Alabama fans,
and Dallas fans.
And you did all of that.
On. Last thing, we didn't even give our predictions for the Michigan game.
Oh, you're right. How dare us? I don't want to do this. All right,
I'm gonna go. Look, I don't care. I'm going Michigan 20, Alabama 17.
Okay.
Man, y'all steal on my scores because that's literally what I told someone earlier today. I thought it was going to be. I think that in order to win, we got to keep them under 20, and I don't think we're doing much more than that. So I said 2017 as well.
Okay.
I'm going big. I think Michigan wins this game 31-20.
Okay. Let me ask you to add on to that though. Who do you guys think is the offensive and defensive MVP? Assume Michigan wins. Who is the MVP for the offense and defense?
Offensive MVP Jordan Marshall.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. If it's going to be an MVP for Michigan, it's going to be a running back. I think we all could agree with that.
Absolutely. Defensive MVP.
Ooh.
I'm going with Derek Moore. Defensive MVP.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the secondary, man. I'm gonna go Zeke Berry.
Zeke Berry been playing pretty good football.
Now, do you think Zeke Berry is on the outside at corner, or you think he goes back to nickel corner?
He going corner.
Oh, he's on the outside. Yeah,
he's going to be a corner.
What channel is televising the game?
ESPN, I believe.
ESPN.
Yeah,
I think that the defensive MVP will be Jayshon Barham. I think they're going to start testing him out at edge, and I think he's going to have a monster game. Assuming that we win, he's going to be one of the reasons we win.
You know who I think is going to get a lot of slot time, gentlemen? Edmund Josiah.
I can see it.
Oh, yeah. No, he's good too. I like him.
I like it.
I think he's gonna get run. And the two defensive players that I'm gonna keep an eye on in this game is Cameron Brent, who I could see the potential. He has 2 sacks this season, about 20 tackles. He's gonna get a lot of play. And Dominic Nichols. I think these 2 players are 2 guys to look out for. So I'm going to keep my eye on them. But unfortunately, I got to work tomorrow. So I won't really be watching the game. Y'all keep me updated.
No doubt. Hey, look, shout out to my guy, Johnny Oden Jr., who's in the chat. Shout out to TJ and John Diadamo of Voice of College Football. We, along with us here, have formed the Michigan Avengers. We will be doing a membership only live call-in show. We're calling it the Hangout. We're going to do this once a month, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are not a member, become a member so that you can be a part of this. Every one of us, every one of the Avengers, people have already taken, Avenger. I think TJ is Iron Man. I'm pretty sure Johnny Odin Jr. is Black Panther. I'm just Black Man. I come with bad credit, multiple baby mothers. I'm joking. By the way, y'all don't laugh at that. Don't fucking laugh at that.
So,
All
so
right,
you're that CW superhero.
Exactly. Exactly. I make my own costume, all of that. But anyway, once a month, we will be doing this. And this week it is, or this month, I'm sorry, or next month rather, because
It'll be the first Monday of every month, which will be next Monday, and it'll be immediately
By the way,
following our
we got to
Monday
talk
night
about
show.
this Monday thing. Monday is our day. Monday is our day. But for this time, it's definitely going to be on Monday. We will be posting times and all of that pretty soon, so keep it locked for more of that. Become a member if you're not a member already. And in the meantime, before we get out of here, I'm sorry, my guys, where can they find you, Boxing Maniac?
Right here you go, man. D_boxing_maniac on Instagram. Once you get to my Instagram page, you will be able to connect to all my other social media outlets and the Maniac Michigan page coming soon to a theater near you. Let's talk about it.
My guy, Kinetic, tell the people where they can find you, good sir.
Well, aside from here on the Maze Madman channel, you can find me on every platform at Kinetic615. You'll see me as a frequent guest host over at Voice of College Football Michigan, and I actually will be a guest on Darren Talks Ball this Thursday as well to do a reaction to the bowl game tomorrow. But otherwise, just look me up, Kinetic615, anywhere you want to. You can be like Marmar and come over and hang out with me while I lose on the football video games, unless I'm playing Maze Madman. Then I get the win.
Wait a goddamn minute. How are you going to do immediate live reactions somewhere else?
He asked me like a month ago, and I said, yeah.
Bro, unbelievable. Anyway, my guy Dom asked for this, so we have to do it because Dom asked for it, and he is the Don.
I said you soft, so what? What you gonna do? What?
Don't no man call me soft. I hate that, all right?
Wait, let me slow you down, cause I'm a man. I called you soft, first of all. Now, I don't like you swelling all up and all. What's all this swell up shit? What's that about? What you taking in all this air for, Claude? What you feeling, huh? What's on your mind, huh? What, you gonna put your chin up? Huh? That means something to me? Cause I said soft? Cause I said soft, so what? I said I spell it. SOF_T. Soft. Huh? How you like that? What you gonna do, Claude?
Be sure to follow me everywhere at Maze Madman. It's everything. That's it. Yeah, at Maze Madman. Until next time, you know the slogan, stay angry, my friends.